Okie religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
This is Cheney Steele, and you're watching the Force Choke Podcast.
Okay.
Hey guys!
Hi.
Oh, we're on?
Live already.
Oh, we are. You did it.
Thanks for the 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I mean, I've been warning y'all like the last 5 minutes to sit down, so.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not telling anyone what to do.
Well, welcome to episode 24 of the Force Choke Podcast. We're calling this one. What are we calling it, Mike?
Where do I put it? Hold
Hold on.
Carbonite freezer burn. Where has Han Solo gone?
Oh my God!
Ah.
You're welcome.
I like it. That's a good one. I
Well,
like
it
it.
could have been better.
All right. So
I'll
this
remember
is
that when you set it up next time.
this.
Boom.
This is the Force Choke Podcast with
Micah.
Izzy.
Tim.
Sarah.
Lewis and our special guest.
Jose D.
Yes, Jose, you're coming to us from.
Super Film Bros.
Yeah, you're gonna show them your.
Yeah.
You go up to the.
All right. I'm just gonna creepily just try to
Dun, 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 dun.
check it out.
Yes. We're gonna get a little bit into that when we have our question segment with you, and gotta happen at least once.
Yeah. Sorry.
But,
Slow clap. Yeah.
Wait, was that a genuine, like, we accidentally did that? Or?
No, that was an accident.
Okay.
Because it was taking forever to load, and I was like, oh, it's perfect. It's not going to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But wait, Jose, you're part of a podcast also, and we're gonna get a little bit more into that. But we want to just say thank you for joining us. Hopefully, you have a fun ride along the way.
I'm happy to be here. Really, I'm really excited to see that there's another local podcast here in Corpus Christi.
Absolutely.
That we both collaborate together and stuff right there.
Yeah, excellent. Well, why don't we kick it off with Tim? You got some news, notes, and
I
all
have
that, anything
some notes
interesting?
before me. Let's see.
Bow before him.
Yes. Here's my cloak. Is JJ really finished writing the script for episode 9? Does anyone have any options for what the title will be? So JJ announced that he's done with the script for episode 9. So, it's just
The Last Jedi just came out.
it's already done.
Right.
They got a deadline to maintain now, though.
And I thought they already had that thing done before or during the film of The Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was just me, but I thought I heard some news that it was already done. Have you heard anything?
No, I haven't heard anything about this. This is great news to hear, but I have to agree with Micah, right? That deadline now, since they're under new ownership for quite a while now. Everything Star Wars is going to be a yearly thing.
Yeah.
Even though if it's going to be the new episode, storyline episodes to the one shots. So every year there's going to be a new Star Wars content probably.
And especially getting back to the whole concept of we need a movie in May, because that's when the originals were. It seems at least to finish off on that.
If they mess up, they get fired.
I don't. Well,
Ron Howard would take over. He clean up the mess.
He's a cleaner.
He's a cleaner upper.
I'm a cleaner.
I just pictured Ron Howard as the Pulp Fiction kind of the wolf just driving in.
Did you ever see the video? I don't know if you ever saw the video of him throwing away the trash. Like when he said they filmed already like so much of the movie Han Solo, and then he came in because it was his job now to do the film.
Oh, that was
and he took whatever film that they had, and he literally grabbed it, threw it into the trash, and put it on. He put it on Twitter, right?
On Twitter.
Yeah.
I saw that video. I was like,
damn.
it's like not even any clips or anything. Nope.
Yeah.
Straight to the trash.
It was a bit of a statement because I was day one too.
Yeah.
I think that's what it says. Like, here's where we are on the Han Solo movie, and it shows the fire in the goddamn trash can. I'm like, thanks for inspiring us.
So Sarah, you got any titles for the next movie?
No.
No.
No, they're not
That
the
was your
only-
homework, wasn't it? You had one thing to do.
I had one job.
Yeah. Well, besides pass your test.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you're in a nursing program.
I am.
And you were steady. You didn't even eat for like what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, pretty well. I mean, I knew about the test like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I got an A on an exam.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But you passed that, but failed to come up with a name. For it.
Yes. I mean,
Priorities.
they
Priorities.
the what is it?
Just tell Lewis,
The
look, I need
failure
to make
of
money
I know.
to go
What
watch
was
Star
that?
Wars.
And I have to buy like, so much stuff. I need money for pops and to give my dog a good life. So
Did you say pods, like Tide Pods?
No, pops.
well, yeah, I use Tide Pods too,
Did
but
she do the
strictly
Tide-
for
did you
laundry
do the Tide
purposes.
Pods?
No,
Challenge?
no,
Okay.
no.
I actually watched the
I
medical
enjoy
video
it.
behind that where like it literally would turn your organs into liquid shit.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
As opposed to solid.
Shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well. Tim, you have
Sorry,
any
was something funny, Timothy?
No, I was just thinking like what
What is liquid shit?
I just like weirdo thoughts, just like
Weird.
someone like these Star Wars characters doing the whole Tide Pod challenge, like seeing
What?
shit.
They could weird
That guy's like
Chewie Jabba
popping
popping
up.
And he's using the bones
We're a
from the
little soap bubble. Oh my god.
and he's using the bones from the porgs to like pick his teeth. It's got that little wrapper in there.
Okay, that's not now.
Yummy.
I got the radar tag now.
Well, does anybody have maybe what the next title could be? So we got the Force Awakens.
The title,
Last Jedi.
they already have the title. They have to. But Ryan Johnson was hiding that title for 2 years. He said he already knew what the title was going to be.
For episode 9.
He just couldn't tell anybody.
The Last
Yeah,
Jedi.
The Last Jedi. He already had that.
Okay. Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
Well,
Let's
Rebirth.
start with
No,
that.
I bet it's Rebirth.
Rebirth.
As far as like the
Well, it's the last movie pretty much kind of slowly
Rebirth.
graduating like
into
from the original guys to this
a new franchise, not franchise, but new
no
era,
to the
new era.
main characters,
Yeah.
I guess.
I would,
Well, I took it in the sense of
I would bet he doesn't.
the origins, the rebirth. That's what I thought you meant.
That would be a big stray from any of the other titles.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it may become more generic title, like
The Phoenix.
so yeah. I don't know.
Rebirth. I was like, Phoenix.
Or
Yeah.
like
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Play off Kylo and Rey.
Ray.
That's a good one.
Diagram.
The beginning.
The new power couple, Kyrie.
Kyrie, how you
How
feeling?
do you feel
I
about
feel sick.
How do I feel about them?
that? Yeah.
As far as the Kylo Ren and Rey,
It's Poe Ray.
as what?
Poe Ray is what it is.
Oh.
What did Nate say in that message?
Rapo.
Well, I do.
Now you like Kylo Ren.
I like both characters. Both characters are awesome.
Yeah.
I really do like.
Repo. Nate with the hashtag repo.
So I like them. I mean, they're great. I like Kylo Ren, and I like the way that they're portraying that character.
I love him.
Unstable, not unstable. Full of potential and whatnot. Rey too. She's full of potential, but she's not guided. Nobody's taking the mantle of trying to teach her anything, and she's the one begging for it because she's like, I don't know what's going on with me. I have all this power, for lack of a better word, and nobody's helping me out.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And Kylo Ren has all the,
The
like,
teaching
he has the teacher, and and now he's just like, I'm above this now.
Yeah.
Shoot that piece of shit out of the sky. I didn't say shit. Okay.
I was already ready to kill you.
I'm
Really? That's your title now?
I like that.
Sit.
So how's how do we do about the profanity around here. Try to keep it to a minimum.
Whatever you want.
Whatever.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
If I had a name tag, it wouldn't say Mike. It would say Resident Asshole.
Yeah.
So whatever you say, you're okay, bro.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all good to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not-
If you listen to our podcast, it's lowbrow humor sometimes.
Yes.
Do it.
I think sometimes we delve into dumpster humor.
Trash humor.
That's these two.
Yeah.
The shitty points, in fact.
The last podcast
Darth
was a
Vader
bunch
taking
of shit humor.
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
I was really hoping we were gonna make
And
it.
how he takes his shits. And we covered that like in the first.
I was really hoping we would get through an episode without talking about how Vader poops, but
That's a very
It's
good question.
it's Star Wars.
I'll,
so-
I'll
Important
have to
question.
backtrack to that episode and listen
Oh,
to
it's. I think we even titled it. I think we even titled it the shitty episode.
If you look at, oh my gosh, I just remember not. Like the first time we talked about it, I thought it was hilarious as hell. It was so funny. But in the last episode,
We
I
brought
just,
up like real.
I just started to feel sick.
Oh,
Pale face.
like Vader. Can he enjoy Taco Tuesday?
Mm.
Spicy.
And some
Mucho
tequila.
caliente.
So no, okay. So
Well, so what else you got, Tim? What else you got for
let's
us?
see.
Well, you
So we didn't have a title. Well,
You didn't ask what I thought. At the time.
Couldn't think of a title for it.
Oh well,
I'm
what do you got?
I'm just saying.
They released something that said like the war continues, like and it had episode 9.
The war continues.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that's the title, but I'm sure.
something along.
Well,
those
something
lines.
similar like episode 3 was coming out like still into the Clone Wars. So,
Mhm.
But I don't think Abrams has a name for it.
What
Because
was the
remember what
code
we
name?
were
The
talking
Black
about?
Diamond?
What?
The code name for it?
Black Diamond.
Oh, I think yeah, it was. There was a
The
code name for that.
Snoke's thing. That's what they're calling the next, the code for it.
That's a code word.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But just to really quickly hit it, because like Abrams had his idea for episode 7, but he didn't want to step on the toes of the director for 8. At 8, he kind of took it in a different direction, and he can kind of feel that. So you got to wonder if Abrams, how much is he going to tear it back to the way he thought it was going to be,
Yeah.
or also going off of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
So with that idea in mind, even if he's just not finishing the script, I bet he doesn't have a name for it, because it might influence the identity of like what he was initially had thought for it. I don't know. That's just my thought.
No, that-
Unless it is Rapo. Hashtag Rapo.
Rapo.
I know you're watching Nate.
horrible.
I know you're watching
So
Nate.
Is this one of those amateur Star Wars porn parodies?
Yes, fan fiction.
Oh, yeah. DJ Alpha.
I guess it's Star Wars version of 50 Shades.
Mm.
50 Shades of Ray.
Yeah.
That is a really.
That's a movie I'd watch.
Well done, sir. Take a bow.
There's 3 of those too, right?
Oh man. So what else you got for
DJ
us?
would be good for DJ to come back.
No, he did his job. He's done.
But it's titled Black Diamond. And he also has the same diamond that Snoke has.
No, it's not the same.
It was like no.
No, not in the visual dictionary. It's not.
Oh, I don't have the visual dictionary.
No, in the visual dictionary, Snoke's ring is actually part of Vader's castle
Yeah,
on
that's right.
Mustafar, and DJ's is from a different planet.
So you're saying Snoke is Vader?
They're about the same height.
You're no Vader. You're a child in a mask.
He needs another Vader because he's not Vader anymore. He's all burnt up.
What about the likelihood if we actually do see a separation, like episode 9 and 10? I feel like that's
what
the
Izzy
growing-
was talking about.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Jose?
I feel like that's a growing theme among movies that like have been held out like these stories, and they have like a breakaway
Like a
because that
two-part?
last one, yeah. Like I'm not gonna say they're gonna do episode 9 and 10, but I don't think
Like
they're gonna do
9.1.
9.1, 9.2. I
Yeah.
think that'd be silly.
That's where it seems that everyone's starting to go to, because we recently had an episode where we talked about one of the writers for was it Predator or I forgot. It was one of the famous 80s franchise. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where it's a continuation of the first one and it is in between. It was a RoboCop.
Mhm.
It was RoboCop where they're going to make another RoboCop movie. They're going to say this new movie is nothing, and then the second one is still part of it, but they're gonna make a movie in between RoboCop.
Right. So the Michael Keaton movie that they're gonna throw out,
that
and then the new one would be.
it's not gonna be thrown out. It's just like it's a movie by itself on
Oh.
its own, and then they're just gonna continue to like he was saying, like see middle parts, the fillers of pretty much the whole beginning scrolling part where it's like, oh, this happened and this and that. Well, I want to see that. That sounds pretty badass, like the Rogue One. That was an excellent movie. I always wanted to see how did they get the plans to the Death Star, and it really gave a perfect. It filled in a plot hole. I'm like, really? This, you shoot a perfect shot and, into this one vent port and it sucks it in and whatnot. Okay, I see now it was a design flaw on purpose.
Mhm.
Fills in that perfect. So those filler movies would be great.
Yeah.
Would be great.
Yeah,
Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys right now. I think that's one of my second favorite Star Wars movie, just
cool.
because it's
Mhm.
it's so gritty. It's so gritty. And the first ones were really gritty in my opinion. Like the very first part, you see them like getting ready. Shit busts out. Vader pops in. Vader's just walking over dead people like it's nothing.
He is.
Yeah.
He's like, look at this mess.
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah. My God, can we not deal with this every time?
Every time I walk through a door.
They did a video of the Samuel L. Jackson's. It was dubbed over with his voice from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
When Vincent shoots the guy in the head, and the
Oh, yeah.
it's like, this is some fucked up shit. I will never forgive your ass for this. As Vader's looking around and seeing these bodies all over the place. It's hilarious, man. I gotta show that to you.
I've seen that before. Yeah, I feel like how like I was trying to say that Star Wars has the potential of being a very adult-orientated story.
Oh yeah.
But sadly to say, not sadly to say, but merchandising gets in the way. Stuff like this, the figures and stuff like that, and the potential of making money is always going to be there for Star Wars. French, merchandising is never going to go away for Star Wars products.
Yeah.
But Rogue One was great because it met up to that potential of being a very adult-orientated movie.
Yeah.
Where they even had to do reshoots because it was too dark.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Would you like to see that version?
I would love to see the dark version.
I mean, yeah, I would love to see it. It'd be cool. It'd be very good. I'd love to see darker Star Wars stuff.
Hell yeah.
In some of the comic books and some of the other content and books and stuff, it really gets like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And if I forgot what those guys are called.
The Praetorian Guard.
Yeah, the Praetorian Guard. That scene in the Last Jedi. I mean, that could be good thing they're all dressed in red.
Yeah,
Because I thought there would be, but of course, lightsabers, cauterized wound and whatnot, blah blah blah. But if there were regular swords, there'd be blood everywhere.
Yeah.
It'd be like Kill Bill or Quentin Tarantino scene everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully, we see that for the new Star Trek.
Yeah, we did cover that. I accidentally, I made a mistake on that. But yeah, can you believe that
I'm excited.
I'm excited to see that. Too.
I'm super excited, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but that is wrong star. Wrong science fiction movie.
Tim, you're supposed to be hold us together and get to the next stuff. And
I like playing Dark Side and just going into Star Trek for a minute.
wait. Did you say you liked Dark Side?
Playing it and going to Dark
Traitor!
Let's see. What do you think? Not yet. I need a friend to watch it with me.
He fell asleep during Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Why is it so good?"
Oh, I didn't get
You
it.
don't understand.
So
You did see the important part, though. Vader slicing and dicing people.
I nearly fell asleep to that movie.
Stop.
during.
All right.
I mean,
yeah, you're gonna start.
Which one?
Sad Rogue
Rogue
One.
One.
Why?
Because Tim apparently doesn't.
I was-
It does get slow.
I was good. There was
A little bit.
it was just like it just went. I just think it just went too slow. Like it just dragged me way down. It's a big drag. And
Maybe we'll have to come.
I don't know if it was like
I want to figure out
some-
why Tim is.
maybe it was like I don't know if it was the rain sound was too authentic or something, but
What?
it was during that. It was
What
during that
white
scene.
noise got to you just watching?
It could have been.
Damn.
I wanted to go. That killed me.
There was a couple of times where Tim was sitting to my right.
Mhm.
Right? Were you sitting to my right?
You were on my right, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were in this side. I'd be like, oh, check that out, and I'd look, and Tim was kind of like.
Maybe hit a monster before that.
Oh man. Well, I know. Moving on.
Yeah, we have was disinformation. So can we trust what anyone says from Lucasfilms, like the cast or crew included?
I say.
For example, Ryan Johnson, he's confirming that Rey is a nobody. So everybody's like wants her to have some kind of lineage.
Well,
to,
I'm glad that you brought this up because I like it. I like it
that
because
she's a nobody.
Well, not that she's a nobody, but I like it how everyone's like, well, no, it's all bloodline and midichlorians and whatnot. I want to get away from that midichlorian.
I love
stuff.
the midichlorians.
I don't want it to be like
You love it?
yes. I don't want it
Tim,
to be,
who are you?
I don't want the Force to be, something that's passed down genetically or, something like that. I want the Force to be an actual force. And the Force itself noticed that, it's imbalanced and they chose Rey to be in the Force. You know what I'm saying?
There could be a really interesting segue that they do
They
inside
chose
that.
the broom
because
kid
if
as
the-
insurance.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
we'll use it to
exactly.
tie it up because metachlorines is just simply supposed to be a microscopic bacteria.
Yeah.
Well, what if some of these smart guys start being like, all right, where's this bacteria like common? So they start culturing it themselves and start like injecting people with it. So like the more midichlorians you have, the stronger you are.
Whoa.
Kind of like baby.
Whoa.
They're pumping in midichlorians.
Baby.
Oh my god.
Maybe.
Kind of
That-
interesting.
It is
What if-
because okay, how many people have you seen
and
in
just
an
have a
entire
whole
story?
army full of them, right?
How many people have you seen an entire story, especially that opened up in episode 7 on Jakku, that little city, whatever. Like they knew about the Force, they researched it as a religion and everything, but they couldn't tie into it, and they don't specify why because they only really ever mention midichlorians in episode 1.
Yeah.
But they don't really specify as to why the people who like live devout by this religion in episode 7, not how they don't ever explain why they can't use it. And you would assume someone who's devout in this religion, at least, for some expanse of time, like that they would be able to understand and tap into it. So maybe if it's something as simple as a friggin' bacteria, like you need.
Well,
It is possible, damn it.
Maybe it's the what
Are
did you
you
call
getting
it?
into, like-
I like it,
dander
man.
From the tree.
Thanks, man.
Oh
From
yeah,
the
the
Force
pollen, and then people have the Force.
The what?
The pollen from
The
the
pollen. The
Force
tree spits on you.
tree.
It would definitely become more
yeah, the
sci-fi.
tree.
Oh, sorry, some Force.
Well, they have all the science. They have all the science and stuff back. Outlining like how Vader can even live, how Vader can do all these things with his suits. Like they have physics and stuff for Star Wars that you've explained in some of your books and stuff. Like
I'm just
How would
thinking
that
the
not
Force
be
tree's pulling
possible?
a Ugandan knuckles. I
You
spit
got it.
on you.
you know the way.
Do you know the way?
Show me the way.
Protect the queen. Spit on it. Yes. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
You have Ebola.
You
You have midichlorians.
Ebola, yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's interesting
I
about
think
the
that it's
metachlorians part. But like I said, I still want it to be something where an entity of Force.
Like somebody's chosen.
That
Like
you're
it picks,
chosen.
like the people like
Yes,
apart.
exactly.
Yeah.
You get it because you are part of it. You know, you display the best qualities of having the Force, so you get it. Also, there's also the dark side of the Force. You display the dark qualities. The dark
And he's
qualities.
pointing at you.
Yeah,
You see that?
You display those qualities.
As long as y'all understand.
Come with me.
No, and I like that too. But if you think about it, like, I don't want to, keep on using the same example, but in episode 7, they're researching the Force and everything. It's a religion, but they don't use it, or they can't even use it. Or even Baze, that's his name, right? The blind one in episode 4. Rogue One.
Rogue One.
The blind.
I mean, Donnie Yen's character.
No,
Yes, Donnie Yen's
Chirrut.
Chirrut. Okay, that's right. Okay, Chirrut. Like, apparently he doesn't use the Force, but like he understands it and everything. So if we see this little kid at the end of episode 8, he's able to use it. Then he, in essence, might be an ordinary person, but he has chosen. So, in a sense, for them to say that, and it doesn't have anything to do with like midichlorians or anything, it's almost kind of saying like there may not be the same bloodlines anymore, but you still have to be chosen. So therefore, you're not just anyone.
I don't know, Matthew Quintanilla. Hey, man, how's it going? Good to hear from you.
Matt, I will find you and hunt you down for
He
saying
said Jar Jar has the
shit
Force.
like that.
Jar Jar has the Force.
But does that make sense what I'm saying though?
No, I do
Like
understand.
if some little kid is able just to all of a sudden, like Rey may appear to be ordinary from what we've seen, but she was obviously chosen. She had something like inside her that woke up. So it can't just simply be like
It needs a
passed
trigger.
down.
It needs a trigger.
Yeah, it needs some sort of catalyst, but obviously the Force chose these people. So now, like, it may not be bloodline that's doing that, but there is something there. So they're not necessarily anyone.
You read that book, right? Star Wars Bloodline, Sarah? I thought you said you were going.
I can't read.
That explains a lot.
I don't think you should have admitted that. Well, you already made it in the program,
Yeah.
right? So who cares?
Be like Drumline.
Yeah.
You can read music. Drumline.
I've never seen that. Who's seen Drumline?
Drumline, I've seen it.
Drumline. Yeah, he can't read music, but he's still like
He's-
really good.
Oh, I've heard of people.
I feel like that's how I was with trombone back in high school. Like if I heard someone else put on all right,
I
got it.
Patrick Stump's like
Yeah.
that from Fall Out Boy. He doesn't know. He can't
He
read
can't read
music.
music?
Hmm.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See?
They can play the instrument.
They can play and they're good, but they can't
Star Wars,
read
damn it!
the music and
Oh,
This is the most serious talk so far.
So
and I'm
yeah,
all trying
they
to cut it
understand
off.
music
Continue,
theory, but they
please.
can't read.
yeah.
is that how you
No,
read music?
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that?
No, well they're drummers, so they're playing like.
I was not following.
How was that?
I was like, maybe that's why you can't read because you don't read like this.
And Save the Hunger Games. I said Matt, I was gonna hunt him down. He's like, "This ain't the Hunger Games." Well, we talked about it briefly, but at one point in time, we thought George Lucas did want to have that idea, Matt, that Jar Jar was supposed to be a Sith Lord, but he eventually got away from it.
Yeah,
Like it
I
wasn't
think he
received
had
well.
to. Yeah,
It wasn't received well at all. The way Jar Jar was in Episode 1.
That was some sort of racially not sensitive kind of character.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest issue there.
yeah, I agree.
Possibly.
All right, what else, Tim? What else you got?
Let's see. The Han Solo gets pushed back to a December release.
Blasphemy!
Date to be announced, and they did announce there's been multiple things in the news showing that the trailer is going to be coming out on Monday on Good Morning America at 8:30 Central Time. Right, 8:30.
That's February 5th,
Yeah, that's when
Yes.
one day after the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So we're not going to get anything for the Super Bowl.
I think we'll get it at the very least. We'll get
teaser.
that teaser thing where they'll be like, Solo, check Good Morning.
Yeah, Good Morning
tomorrow."
America. We'll get
There'll
there.
be something, but
Another
we may
bet?
not get our 15 seconds at least.
We should make a bet right now.
Yeah.
Damn it!
We would
did
get a
this
trailer
last
for
time.
Super Bowl, a trailer for.
We did this last time. I think we were all wrong.
I don't think so. I don't think Super Bowl fans are usually the
The Star Wars.
demographic to appease to.
But Super
About
Bowl
stuff.
isn't just football fans, though. It's like everybody.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Some
right,
people just
right.
watch for the commercials.
I mean, parties,
That's
some
true.
parties, you're gonna get.
Basically.
You're like, are they
I
still
like the
playing?
commercials.
no,
Like,
some of
oh
the
damn,
commercials-
football, let me fast forward.
Because they're doing a new Mission Impossible trailer on Super Bowl. They're doing another trailer for Jurassic World too. I think they would at least put something out real quick. What if they did that real quick? Like if they had like a 15-second trailer, had like all these frames and like check out tomorrow.
Forgive me though. Let me ask you, when is this Han Solo movie gonna come out?
It's supposed to be May.
Apparently December.
Well,
No,
I
Lois just wrote
I
that.
went to Alamo Draft House and they already have the movie poster like outside and
Uh-huh.
it said May 25th or 26th.
Really?
So they already, I sent it in the group chat one time. So I don't understand if it gets pushed back.
That's real
they
research,
already,
Tim.
They already have a date.
Well, it's either the 25th or the 26th.
I can't
That's what it said on the
If
poster.
it's not, they'll go
No,
over and
no,
duct
it
tape
was-
it.
it was the
What is-
25th.
Okay.
There's a game that I'm interested. I'm bringing back Star Wars, but there's a game that I'm interested in that I went to GameStop for, and it's supposed to be released this month, I think it was, but they pushed it back, and the release date there still says like it's this month, and online
February something.
it's like 6 months from now.
That's you see.
You see the
I
comment?
saw that. Yeah.
Agreed.
Wade Campbell is throwing shade.
Very ouch, baby.
Oh, was
Yeah.
that
For real, I feel like the
so
Cobra Cat
biased?
can both the teams lose. I don't know.
Oh,
Wow.
because the
Because it's the Eagles and the
Eagles.
Pats. Like,
I hate the Pats with the utmost of passion, and I don't mind the Eagles so much.
yeah, but it's like if the Eagles win, like I win too, in a sense, because it pisses off all the Cowboys fans. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Nah, Cowboys.
And I don't want to see the Pats take a 6th ring. That just
Yeah.
football.
Same.
because it's not just the Pats getting 6 rings; it's Tom Brady having 6 rings.
It's Tom Brady.
How many rings do you have? I need 2 hands. Man, get out of here, fool.
That'd be cute though.
This many.
No.
He probably would do that.
Well,
Like,
itty bitty one.
I think that would
how
be.
was that?
Stop doing that.
It'd have to be the pinky. If you got the 6th one, it would have to be the pinky.
You know, it's either
That
that
way
or
you make him
the.
kiss it. So
Oh my god.
I can't. I'm looking forward to the commercials. I guess. Hopefully, there is a Star Wars commercial during the Super Bowl.
I think they have to have one. It's just, it's going to be just kind of like an announcement thing. They seem to be doing that too. I don't know if you've seen that with all of the other movies, but it's like now there's a countdown for the announcement trailer. And the announcement trailer just simply says, check out tomorrow or check out next week for the full teaser.
length.
And like a teaser's not even a full length anything.
I think the advertisement game has to be more aggressive like that because there's just advertisements everywhere.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All the social media content is advertising.
Yeah.
People, just use it for social media. Well, you're advertising yourself
Yes.
on there. As well.
Marketing.
Yeah, that's what you are. You're marketing yourself
We
there.
found out the hard way they took cryptos off of Facebook, Tim.
Yeah.
Did they?
Damn.
Oh.
Fucking Zuckerberg.
Well, you can still have your
Bastard.
groups, but like the whole
Bastard.
ads for cryptocurrencies, they took it off of Facebook.
But overall, I hopefully they do.
But they
something.
allow everything else, assholes.
They allow-
Bitter?
Yeah, I'm good now.
We are bitter. They allow that. Never mind. That's not,
Oh, okay.
it's actually not conspiracy. There's a whatever.
I feel better.
There's a special report out by
Discrimination.
I think CNN talking about how like actual Russians did pay for ads. I don't care. I'm not saying I don't care, but like they have actual like you got millions of dollars worth of ads being paid for with the Russian ruble like question mark. And they had a special report on CNN. We don't have to go into that, but I'm just saying like they don't give a shit about that, but now they're like, no cryptocurrency. It's like, what the fuck, man? Take your money and shut up.
It's still green, right? You just buy you stuff, yes.
Unless it's red from Mother Russia.
Oh my god. Increíble, man.
Go away, fool. I imitate a lot of things, I think, but I can't imitate that for some reason. I don't know. So he says it just to
tick you out. Yeah, kind of.
Is that why y'all are?
I think that disoriented myself and Micah.
Mm.
Yes.
I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, I miss you too.
Then I see that stupid D on your head, so I don't.
Yeah.
D could be for dark side.
True.
Mm.
D could be for.
Could be from anything.
I just hope it doesn't stand for Dallas.
The big D.
Well, it is a small D on the head.
Oh my god. You're disgusting. All right, we got to keep going because the girls are gonna get up and walk away because we're talking about cryptos and football and
Yeah.
So
Almost there.
We're gonna have a second podcast, fellas.
Okay.
There's nothing on the back.
No. Well, what's that?
What I did.
We're headed to the part where we're going to focus on you, our guest for the show,
Cool.
right?
Okay.
So
At least he's warning you. We're gonna focus on you.
that's right.
Sit up straight.
Yeah,
Zoom in.
look prime, like the Prime Jedi. No? Okay.
That's
All right.
Optimus Prime.
So you're part of another podcast called Super Film Bros, and we're looking forward to hear your team talk about one of the Star Wars films in the near future. I was scrolling down, I didn't see any Star Wars films yet.
Request it.
Right, so I'm gonna go request it.
Request it, sir. If you have us liked on, if you have Super Film Bros liked on Facebook, we'd be more than happy to take any suggestions on you guys. Suggesting a movie to us, and we do, I guess, a run through of the movie since you've already seen it, and I'd love for more interaction between us and everybody. Everybody at all. So submit it in.
Yeah,
make a request.
I'm gonna do that. I'll do that today after the show.
Yes.
You have it like request slow.
You're like, okay,
Slow.
that's like 4 years of shows, man.
You could have just said all Star Wars movies.
It's all inclusive. But our team here at the Force Choke Podcast have some questions for you, right?
All right.
So these questions that we're about to ask you are going to help us to get to know you a little bit better. They might make you laugh.
I hope so.
They might make you mad.
Mad. I don't get mad.
They might even tug at your heartstrings.
Mi corazón.
Tu corazón
Oh, really?
es
Okay.
muy increíble.
Okay.
All right. So you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Izzy
Connoisseur.
is going to kick off with the first question for you. So Izzy,
They're rewriting.
they're rewriting my script.
Tim is
I-
trying to confuse her on how to say a word and make it say
I feel-
sewer.
I feel
Sewer.
like J.J. Abrams right now for
Connoisseur.
rewriting my script.
I'm waiting for like all this to be said and done. J.J. Abrams comes out like 15 years later. You know what really fucking pissed me off in the 2010s or whatever? Like people rewriting my shit. Like,
Exactly. All right.
you really-
Izzy, you ready? What's the first question for Jose?
Okay. So a lot of people are giving The Last Jedi grief, being a connoisseur
Of film.
of films. Will you give us your honest overall opinion of The Last Jedi?
I saw the movie opening night. I had a buddy, my buddy Ben called me. He said, "Hey, I'm getting you a ticket for The Last Jedi." I was like, "Oh, no." Yeah.
I do declare.
Pretty much. And, it was cool. I was like, cool. One less thing to worry about. We get there. I remember watching the film, and I'm just gonna skip to the end. I remember the film ended, and everybody I heard everyone do a puppy, like sideways, and usually I would expect an applause as well at the end of any Star Wars movie, and there was none, except for me.
Did you stand?
I did stand.
You did stand. Oh.
I did stand, and I did like the movie overall. I can understand why some people are upset and they're ranting and raving about, oh, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. This makes no damn sense. And,
Where was Vader?
yeah. Is that it? Is that all we're going to get from Snoke? I thought he was supposed to be some super badass, and, he didn't do shit.
Yeah.
He didn't do jack shit. And I like that. I like movies that create controversy because I don't mean to be a dick about it, but the more controversy something makes, the more it's going to get attention.
Loyalists can go.
I mean, what are we doing now?
Yeah, exactly.
We're still talking about it.
Mhm.
So I did like about 3/4 of the movie. I liked everything else except for the Finn and Rose
Rose,
part. that could have been easily cut out. For me.
Rose is getting so much trash.
No, don't get me wrong.
What part of it? All of it?
Not all of it. I did
How she
appreciate.
fell in love in 2 days?
I can't see where. Well, she didn't just fall in love 2
Love at
days.
first sight.
Are you an angel?
Not yet.
Oh my god.
Look, she was already.
She already knew about him.
Yeah,
her
she already knew
stories.
about
Stories,
Finn
yeah.
and stories. Oh, you're Finn from blah blah blah, and you can already see that she's already interested and infatuated with Finn already.
Mm-hmm.
And to fall in love with somebody over the course of 2 days, it can and has happened before. I mean, that's why there's even where it's love at first sight kind of thing. So I believe a bit of that. But overall, we need to find a super hacker, and we need to get onto this, and I just and the world that they went to, it made me feel like it was one of those worlds from the prequels, and I'm not a huge fan of the prequels.
It almost felt, yeah, you're right. It did feel like that.
I'm not a big fan.
Jesus.
And we're going to talk a little bit
This
more
one over
about.
here is like
You don't have to elaborate on the prequels because we're going to talk a little bit more about the prequels later in the show.
Okay, but
They were a
that
farce,
planet that they visited, that casino planet, Las Vegas planet, as I'm going to call it.
Canto Bite, right?
Canto
Blue?
Bite.
Canto Bite? Blue?
Bye.
Yeah.
Bite.
Blue? Tim? Blue?
Canto
Like
Blight.
Blight?
Kanto.
Chapter.
I'm thinking Blight.
What is
I think it is
Bite mean in
That
Latin?
sounds
Canto
kind
Blight.
of like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Canto Blight.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Well, canto means chapter or book in Latin. So what does bite mean?
Blight.
Canto means to sing.
In what?
Light.
Spanish?
No, that's the language I created.
Ironically, the language I created means go to hell, Lewis.
But let me wrap up the question real quick and answer your question faster. I did like it. The Finn and Rose stuff almost could have lost a lot of that, in my opinion. I did like how Poe. I didn't like
Repo?
Poe's- No, not Repo. I didn't like Poe so much. I mean, this movie was about failure. I mean,
It's about what?
Failure.
About failure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a failure to communicate with General Leia
Yeah.
and talking to Poe. If she would have told Poe, hey, settle down. I know what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing.
Mhm.
You wouldn't have that conflict of him, creating that mutiny and whatnot. Be like, oh, she does. That's why she's, still keeping a steady course to wherever she's going to exit out. Hopefully, sorry, spoilers, but, hopefully you've seen the movie already.
Yeah.
But, she has a steady
I'm all talking
course.
shit to whoever's watching. Like,
Yeah.
Hope you've seen the movie, asshole.
Yeah. But she's created a course towards that planet, and then she's like, look, we're going here. We're going to escape on the smaller ships because they're not detecting us on the small, on the radar for small ships.
Yeah.
Chill out, Poe.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. And her, being able to use the Force, to float back to the spaceship, that was kind of cheesy. I laughed so much when somebody put the Superman fucking theme song. I was like, done. I started laughing so much, but they're getting to that bloodline thing. She is a Skywalker, and I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm sorry, she is a Skywalker. Why wouldn't she be able to use the Force? Oh, but she had no training or anything. I don't think you need that much training to like, hey, I'm fucking dying in space.
Right.
I need to float back over here real quick.
Vader was my pappy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Go gadget anchor.
Yeah, exactly. That was a sink or swim situation. Anyway, you don't know what happened between, Return of the Jedi to that area.
Like, what, 30 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You don't know what happened. Maybe she did get some training from Luke or something, or she did mess around with.
Or from.
So you're saying we're going to
the
get
spirit of
another
Obi-Wan?
One Rogue type of movie with just Leia. And it's gonna
Yes, and
give
what's
us
her name
her-
going to play it?
it'll fill in that plot
Millie
hole.
Bobby Brown.
Uh-huh.
You'd have to wait a little while.
Yeah,
though.
But also the Luke and Rey, I loved it. I love how Luke was just like, hey, I'm out. I don't even care anymore. And I like how they he insinuates like I haven't even used the Force in like forever.
I said, bro, you gotta teach me.
Yeah. It came back to what I was saying in the beginning of the show was, she's craving for that attention, that guidance. And while Kylo's like, man, I'm done of like taking orders from everybody. Like I was part of the light side and fuck, almost got killed by my uncle.
That's you brought.
No, I pretty much have made the claim that it was Luke's fault because Snoke was manipulating him from a young age. Like that's proven through the novelization of Episode 7. But Luke was the catalyst, the turning point, because he wakes up to seeing his uncle like gonna kill him. So he's kind of at that point.
That flipped me out,
sink or swim.
Yeah.
As you said it. So yeah.
Now, Nate says he didn't get any training per novelization,
which is Leia. He's probably referring to.
Okay.
But I do like that though. The point, like the underlying theme is of the movie that any ordinary Joe can become what you necessary to be for this, whatever. But the one that you brought up was failure, and I think that's huge because even Yoda says failure is the greatest teacher. He says something to that effect when he's talking to Luke, and because that was pretty much Luke's whole thing. Everything that we've seen on screen for Luke, he hasn't failed. Everything he's done for the most part has been like he's had success, he's had luck, or if you will. But Luke failing, trying to create a Jedi Academy, Luke failing with even in his own nephew and all this shit. Like that's why Luke, turns himself off to the Force because that is one huge, massive failure that he's just kind of like he taps out from reality.
And he kind of even mentioned his legendary status that he gets, that hubris, right?
Yeah.
That kind of took over. Took over his persona. So I think he kind of visualized himself like everybody else, like he was this big.
He started falling into that.
He wouldn't fail, possibly, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, that's what, in my opinion, it was the undertone of the movie. It's
and I like that.
It is failure. Failure is by far the greatest teacher.
All right, Tim.
Do you think it's going to win an Academy Award?
It was nominated for like 5 stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it'll take one.
It'll
usually
win.
does for like music or like editing, or
especially with John Williams getting to the age he's at. I bet you don't give him one.
How many has he had anyway? He's got quite a few.
Yeah,
already.
maybe.
I don't know.
You already got your shit already.
Because people talking a lot, people trashing a lot of Episode 7 soundtrack that John Williams like kind of failed.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of like reviews like I was reading. I was like, what? So I don't know.
I like it.
No, I did too. But that's what I'm saying. Like I saw a lot of comments like that. I'm like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, where is this coming from?
Just a lot of people that are new and upcoming.
Well, and that's what I explained to him too. Like, it's not that like us as like long-term fans of Star Wars, like our voice is any more so more authoritarian than say newer fans or whatever. But it seems like since it's become so big, it's like every asshole has an opinion now, and the people who are being the loudest are the assholes in the sense of like the Last Jedi sucked, they didn't do this right, and even to the point where they're talking about like trying to redo Episode 8, like stricken it. Like there's a petition to completely do Episode 8 because they didn't like it, and that's why like I mean,
don't watch it.
It's just like you have your opinion, that's cool, but it like come to the point where like you're trashing like all this work that's been done for everything. I'm like, are you a fan? Or you just simply have a comment on
it? I believe everything that you said is absolutely correct.
I don't think we've ever had a guest that said that about what Mike.
Wow.
We're breaking barriers today, boys and girls.
But no, you are correct in that sense. There is just so much saturation. Like I never thought we'd have a podcast here in Corpus Christi about just Star Wars. It's great.
Yeah, breaking barriers. Sorry.
I like it. I like that. It's awesome. It's good to see that there are there's enough content in this franchise to actually have a consistent, kind of stuff for Star Wars.
When we started this about a little bit over a year, we were sitting before our first podcast, kind of originally it was Micah, Tim, and myself, and then the girls came in a few episodes after that.
Cool.
Hey guys.
But us three were sitting at the table before we started our podcast, our very first one, and Tim was like, "I don't know if we're gonna have enough content to keep a podcast going."
I've never seen Lewis so like
2 months
concerned.
later, Disney's put
He's
out
like-
a roadmap of like so much.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's just
that's my answer
nice.
for Izzy's question.
Excellent.
Thank you, Izzy, for asking me that question.
Excellent. Tim's up next.
I have something.
Oh shit! Nate says just on that. Oh man, if social media was prominent during the prequels as it is now, World War III would have happened already.
What's up?
You ask the same,
Yeah.
and then Wade says
Yeah.
you ask those same people that trash to do something better themselves, and they either can't, or what they would do would be trash as well.
You know.
Yeah,
it's-
one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Absolutely.
I got a lot of treasure them. All right, sorry, Tim, go ahead.
All right. So if you lived in the Star Wars universe, what would be your occupation?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, smuggler.
Ooh.
For sure. For sure. I would love to. Don't get me wrong, you know, being a Jedi is badass and stuff like that. But it just, I mean, I would like to be a Jedi. I took one of those stupid Facebook, you know, quizzes. What kind of Jedi are you? Are you a dark, light?
What
or-
color lightsaber?
Yeah, what color lightsaber and stuff like that. It turns out I'm a gray Jedi.
Mhm.
I'm kind of one of those guys, you know, hey man, he probably had a reason behind killing that dude.
Yeah. Hey, shit happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, I mean, he's dead now, so come on, what are we gonna do about that?
I'd like to say Jedi, really I would, but a smuggler, Han Solo, I want to be cool as Han.
Mhm.
I really do. And hopefully we're leading up to that. You know, that's part of the topic that we're going to be talking about.
We're inching towards that.
Yeah, inching towards it. So
Yes.
a smuggler, some sort of some death sticks or some like, you know, some
You ain't need death sticks.
Yeah. You know,
Wade wants to know, what would you be smuggling?
Eggplants. Those eggplants.
Oh no, yeah.
Or just one.
Just one.
Maybe
Yeah.
just
Egg-
one.
eggplants
huge
feel like a
one.
state fair eggplant.
Yeah, exactly.
The world's biggest.
The galaxy's
Never mind.
largest.
And then Kylo Ren, once again, shoot that piece of junk.
I don't know. Are you finished yet?
Oh my god.
I don't know what I'd be smuggling. Whatever I can afford.
Right? Yeah. Maybe like some kind of plants or
Animals. No, that
Exotic animals.
I'm not about animal cruelty.
Yeah.
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I still eat meat.
Is
I
I'm
like
not,
my-
but I mean, I like my
New York
bacon.
strips. Yeah, New York strip,
I don't
medium rare.
I love animals, right? They're delicious. Oh my god.
All right.
That's Lewis, by the way, guys, just in case you're curious.
All right. So smuggler.
Smuggler. All right. Very good. Sarah, you're up.
What is something that nobody agrees with you about in this Star Wars saga?
Oh man, you know what? I don't have most of my buddies and friends. We don't really get into confrontation about it because we do have the same opinion about certain things. But I don't know. I couldn't answer that. I couldn't answer that question because I think, like I said, most of us agree on what. Like I agree with Wade. Like right now, what he said. You know, tell them to write something and see if they don't get criticized on it. Nothing's perfect. But with that said, I haven't had like a friend like we all agree Han shot first. I don't have a friend that says, no, if you watch it real close and blah blah blah, he's the one. No, he shot first.
Done deal.
Period.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So, or I'll shoot you first.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have any confrontation on it.
No, not even about Chosen One. Y'all
I was waiting for someone to
About
about
what?
Chosen One.
Okay. You know what?
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. So,
Me and my father.
Don't say it. Let him know.
No, me and my father had this discussion one time,
All right.
and I say Vader is still the chosen one. I still say that Vader is the chosen one because he was light, dark, back to light, and then he died. So I think he was the chosen one because he still brought balance to the Force by disposing the Emperor, throwing him off. But he really didn't bring balance because that meant Luke was the last Jedi, the last light Jedi. So thus brings back to Snoke or something. There's got to be a balance.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest themes and something that's always talked about in every movie.
Where's the balance?
The balance of it.
Shifted to one way or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means we're gonna have the dark side without episode 9.
It might, if they do
To
it 10, that
Because
might be very dark.
if they really want to get away from what is usually like what written like the good guys win or balance in this case, like God written just decimates all.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But my
my
father would be the only conflict. He says Luke Skywalker is the chosen one and stuff like that. So
Tim kind of thought Luke might be. He had some thoughts on that a couple of episodes ago. I think he readjusted his thought pattern there. But since we're talking about characters, right, different characters in the saga, my question for you, Jose, is who's your favorite character in the Star Wars universe and why?
Star Wars universe, favorite character would have to be between Han Solo and the Emperor.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I like
the divergence.
Yeah, well, I like, and this is where I said I kind of like the prequels because it just shows how corrupt any kind of government can be and easily corrupt. I like how he slowly worked up to power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it didn't take him just like that to be the Emperor. It took the lifespan of Anakin Skywalker to become like probably 18 years, 20 years or something like that.
Yeah.
From becoming a political figure and becoming the Emperor, head Chancellor Palpatine and then becoming Emperor Palpatine and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like that. That's awesome because I like things like that. He didn't just start off to be like, you know what, I'm just going to be a Sith Dark Lord and go out and just, create, havoc and mayhem and bullshit.
Yeah.
No, he had a plan.
Well, kind of like Lewis because he was just
Dance for me, puppet.
Yeah.
Dance for me.
A little marionette. But
puppet master.
yeah, and I do like the Emperor. I mean, the Emperor quite a bit.
Yeah.
As far as to Han Solo, I like it. I don't know if his backstory is going to stay the same or not. I read a couple of Han Solo comic books, a little bit of the books.
Open that up. That Han Solo. Open it up. The flap on the inside. It's got a whole thing right there. Look.
Yeah. See.
What do you think?
But I read a couple of his backstories and whatnot, how he grew up and how he ended up to become a smuggler and whatnot, where he came out to be like he is now. I like it. He's just he's just a guy just trying to get by, really, and he's to the point where he has helped out people. It was just better off not to help out in the first place, and that's why you see that conflict in the very first movie, A New Hope. It's just like, nah, man, I'm just here for the money. That's your shit to take care of.
Yeah,
I don't want no. Yeah. And it's cool that he does find it in himself to like, you know what, I need to be part of this.
Yeah.
So
I think that would definitely be interesting too because we're talking about right now like the fight since Disney's taken over Lucasfilm they were bought, that we have legend, we have canon, what's legit, what's not, what's part of this new universe, if you will. But when the prequels came out, they rewrote Boba Fett's backstory. So it's kind of curious to see if they'll do something similar with Han Solo to make it fit into this one, or can they still keep to the original?
Yeah, on his story, I think the Cartoon Network Clone Wars Boba Fett story where he was raised by, I forgot his name.
Jango Fett?
Not Jango Fett. The reptilian bounty hunter.
Boss.
Bosk, yeah,
Mhm.
where he was raised by Bosk
Mhm.
and whatnot, and he ends up killing Bosk and
Mhm.
whatnot.
Spoiler.
Yeah, oh God, no.
Spoiler from like 5
I'll
years
just
ago or
remind
something.
Ay, Dios mío. No spoilers. No spoilers here.
Well, because initially, like, he wasn't a clone, though.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I
Just little things like that. I don't know.
stuff like that, it upsets me that so much content now is what how Ron Howard did. It was like, you read all these books and comic books and stuff.
Yeah. Garbage.
Oh well.
It's funny. I didn't like those books. What books? They set them on fire.
Yeah.
And it's good for Sarah because she can't read.
Yeah.
Okay. But to answer
It's okay, Sarah.
It's all
They're
right.
making a movie for you.
Yeah.
but with that said, I like the Empire, the Emperor, and Han Solo.
Izzy, you're next.
Who is your favorite Marvel character and why?
My favorite Marvel character.
Da-na-na.
Choose wisely.
Shoot, I'm not really a big Marvel fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Silver Surfer.
Oh, wow. That's a really
Okay.
good
Nice.
character.
Off with his head.
I like Silver Surfer because of his story.
Mhm.
And wouldn't it be just badass to just travel through space and
Right?
shit? Just surfing and like, here's a planet that my master Galactus can devour or whatnot, and calls him over and whatnot. Hey, here's this planet, eat it. Okay, he ate it. I'm gonna go out cruising again. But his backstory is very sad. Very like, fuck, dude. And you realize like, you know what? I don't think I would want to be the Silver Surfer, but I still like it just because I think he's overlooked a lot. Cool character, very strong. That's one of the reasons why there's nothing he can't do. So when he was presented in the movie, we just need to knock him off his board.
Yeah.
His surfboard's the power, his source of power. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
It's just you're a dumpster fire. Just please
Go away.
Yeah, go away. You're blacklisted. No. But Silver Surfer is my favorite Marvel character. Now, ask me about my DC.
Oh,
I think
haha,
that's
okay.
Yes.
All right. So, who's your favorite DC character?
The Flash.
Oh.
The Flash is my favorite DC character. It's so generic to hear kids say Superman and Batman, and no offense to any girl or any woman that says Wonder Woman, because there's not many strong female characters as in the Marvel or DC. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So if a little girl said Wonder Woman, cool. Wait till you grow up, you'll see plenty more, Miss Marvel, and Power Girl and all that other good stuff. You'll grow up into it, and then you can make your decision on there. And if you're a full grown adult woman, if you say Wonder Woman, that's fine by me too. But the Flash is my favorite character just because he a lot of people say that he is OP, and he is. I think he really is OP'd a lot. I mean, he's faster than Superman. I believe, I hated it. It was like, Batman can still beat him. I'm like, dude, I posted a comic book strip of where Batman pinned, Barry Allen. Like Batman has Barry Allen like up against the wall. He's like, hey, handle your shit. Your rogues are in my city. If you can't handle it, I will. And then the next pan, you just see him in his Flash uniform. He's like, yeah, you don't need to tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah. And remember, I let you touch me. And I was like, oh, shit.
I think Flash is one of your favorites too, right? Tim?
Yeah, and everyone thinks, it just depends on what version of the Flash you grew up with. I kind of grew up with the Justice League animated series. I like Wally West a lot, that fast talking, like, he hits on every, cute girl that he sees and stuff like that. I've come to appreciate Barry Allen's Flash a little bit more, but overall, I'm still a Wally West fan. I mean, he can travel through time.
Mhm.
He's beaten the Black Flash. It's pretty much the death of any speedster. I mean, he's done a lot, and he's one of the main characters for Flashpoint. I mean, that's if you haven't
that's really good.
if you haven't read any of the Flashpoint, issues, read them. They're great, and also he's part of the new Rebirth as well.
Mhm.
So he has a lot of content behind him. So the Flash is my favorite DC character.
Interesting. I'm glad we got the favorite characters out of the way.
Yes.
So now I'm gonna throw a wrench in it. So we're gonna play a little game as a Force Choke podcast original game we call 3-3-1. So you're gonna be given 3 choices. You have 3 seconds to answer it, and you only get to pick one.
I need a pen or something.
No.
Like, okay.
You're not gonna have
3-3-1.
time. 3-3-1. So now you have the 3 universes. You have the Star Wars universe, you have DC, and you have Marvel. 2 die, only 1 survives. Which one? Go.
Silver Surfer.
Ooh, Marvel. Okay. Why? Because what we're saying now is that Star Wars is gone, DC is gone. Now you're only left with the Marvel universe.
So Silver Surfer, power cosmic. It's just an abundant array of like energy, and it's everywhere and everywhere. Everywhere and anywhere. I think even Silver Surfer may have the power to travel back through time as well.
Before I ask that question. Nice. All right. Awesome.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice. All right. Tim?
So as far as your podcast goes, Super Film Bros, right?
Yeah, Super Film Bros.
Yeah. So give us a scoop on that podcast and tell us how it started, what it's about, and where do we find it? What should we expect when we listen? And most importantly, when's the next giveaway?
Giveaway?
Next
giveaway?
Louis, thank you. Well, it started off with 2 other buddies of mine. It originally started off, if I'm not mistaken, as a Cinematics podcast. I don't remember the very first one. It was Wade Campbell and Jeremy G were the original 2. And then something happened. That podcast went on an indefinite hiatus. So they started it again as Real Screen Geeks. And when Real Screen Geeks, started off, they started off on their endeavor on that end. And I came on the back burner of that show, Real Screen Geeks. Then something happened again and indefinite hiatus. So all 3 of us like, hey, I miss it. We like doing it. We really do. So we decided, all right, revamp, and we're going to be more focused on this. And we're just taking it, day by day, looking through all social media, all entertainment stuff. We are a weekly podcast. We do a lot of, entertainment news, movies, actors, what we hear about, franchises like Star Wars and whatnot. We have made some entertainment news on there, like how the Han Solo main actor guy needs acting license and stuff. And or what's his name? I'm blanking on his name right now. Is going to be the new Lando.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, I love him. I love him too. I love his rap. I like his new TV series, Atlanta.
Yep.
But I'm still not hyped about the movie. we'll get to that, in a bit. But we are more focused now. We're holding it to the standards as being a business.
Mm-hmm.
And we are having meetings. We are collaborating a little bit more. I think we still lack a little bit on communication and whatnot. So I think we're a cool podcast. We're just 3 guys that just talk about movies that we may have seen and movies that we haven't seen. Our latest episode was Eastern Promises with Viggo Mortensen and whatnot. Yeah. And it's a great film. I think it's cool. And even though he doesn't say a lot in the movie, he carries presence and he has the gravitas, just being so cool and whatnot. We just talk about films that we like, films that we don't like. I'm usually the one that picks like the bad films.
Give us a bad film.
Knock Knock. It's on Hulu. It's a Keanu Reeves movie.
You said bad and Keanu in the same sentence? What the hell?
I know, right? No, not Keanu.
No way.
Yeah, we recently did Point.
Fucker.
We recently did Point Break. All right,
Dude, don't trash them.
No. Listen,
The original.
The original.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, now go listen to that podcast. It was a very fun. I mean, I forgot how much I kind of liked that movie. Like at the very end, just like via con Dios. Just yes, I forgot.
We take us back in.
And it's he's not coming back. I just really like doing this because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun revisiting some of these good and bad movies as well. Like our Halloween special, we did Clown. I heard good things about Clown, but it was not.
I didn't like that.
It's not that good at all. I heard.
And Wade says Knock Knock is a dumpster fire.
Yeah. The only good thing as a male audience is like you see two hot girls naked and whatnot. But I'm just gonna give you a quick. No, I would just give you a quick synopsis of it. Two random girls just come by to his house. His family's away, and two hot, European girls come by and knock on his door, like, "Hey, the car broke down. We need to get out of the rain. Can we use your phone?" And they seduce him, and he's like, "No, I'm married. I'm happily married. I have kids. Blah blah blah." And one of our taglines is "free fucking pizza," because he does end up having sex with both of them, and he's just trying to get rid of them too. He's like, they stay the night. They're just like causing havoc in the house, like making dinner, burning shit up and whatnot. And he's like, "Get the fuck out of here, you fucking ditzy broads," blah, blah, blah. And then they end up capturing him and stuff and like torturing him. He's like, "What the fuck do you think I was going to do? Free fucking pizza, And I was just like, why did he say free fucking pizza? No, he's all like, that's his explanation. Two hot girls come to your house, you have sex with them. What do you want me to do? It's free fucking pizza. And then he's got a point. They are both really attractive girls, but still, yeah, free. Okay, yeah. What kind you got?
I like pizza.
Yeah. I'm a Hawaiian guy. I like Canadian bacon and pineapple.
Pineapple.
But yeah, we're just ordinary. We're not ordinary. We're super film bros.
Yeah.
And I'll show it to you guys again real quick. Look at that. Check this out. I don't know how that works. So I do appreciate to be on your podcast.
Yeah,
it's a really cool podcast. I did listen in on some few episodes. And like I was telling Micah about it, it is kind of difficult having it on YouTube and listening it into the car. So
yeah, it is.
So
I was debating whether we should take the audio, and we started on we were on iTunes, and I think several are.
We're doing pretty good on Podbean, and I think SoundCloud is something where we can improve on. You already have enough content to throw onto SoundCloud and start promoting it that way. A lot of people skim over podcasts if they only see like one or two. And they're like, "Oh, they're not established yet. I'll come back to them later."
Yeah.
Guess what? Never do. Yeah. But if you have more than 10, like, well, you know what? Okay, cool. Let me start it.
Yeah.
So that's my suggestion, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think, did we talk about that?
Yeah, I was telling him that we were, trying to, figure out some way to bring it back. Cause I mean, that's why I was kind of like, we're the podcast without being a podcast per se.
Yeah.
It's like, get back to origins kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I mean, we do like the video too, because it gives people a response. Like we can, communicate and everything.
No, the video is awesome too, and that's something where we want to try to integrate ourselves into too, and get on YouTube as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So awesome.
Excellent.
Did you ask for this?
Are you okay?
That's what you're talking trash about.
Okay. So,
Can I be excused from the table? Apparently, it's not polite manner anymore. No,
believe it or not, we only have about.
I'm kidding.
45
I'm
minutes
talking
left.
shit
I
about.
still need
Oh,
Nate's,
really?
Yeah.
Nate's
That's an hour,
question.
an hour 15?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh,
I
right.
wrote it
Next question for me. I'm sorry.
Nate's question.
Yeah, we still got to do rankings.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you want me to say?
Yes.
Yeah. So Nate's I got it.
I got to talk about.
Nate's
Go ahead, Sean.
asking if we've seen Ryan's trilogy, so it might not have any Jedi or Sith. What is he talking
The
about?
Oh, here you
The
go.
one that Ryan Johnson was approved for, he has a trilogy that Kathleen Kennedy signed off on. They can do a trilogy in Star
Oh,
Wars
to do
that
after
has
this-
nothing to do
After
with
the trilogy
this.
now,
Mhm.
Yes.
we're getting another trilogy that may not have Jedi,
Jedi
or
or
Sith.
Sith.
I guess kind of the feel of Rogue One.
Yes, I heard about that they're just gonna maybe explore more of the universe or whatnot. Introduce new characters or switch off to these other characters like Poe and Finn, and maybe not so much Rey. I remember back in the day, about like maybe 10 years ago, I remember ABC or NBC was gonna get a Star Wars
Live action.
live action
Mhm.
TV series called Star Wars Underground.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, I remember.
It never panned out.
When was
That's
that?
when we were working together.
That's when we were working at,
Yeah.
and we were talking. We talked about that
Yeah.
too. I would have loved to see that. I would love to get away from the main attraction of the Force and see what else goes on in the Star Wars universe. You know, is there still more political conflict between one system to another system?
And how do you moisture farm?
I guess we don't have to ask the question of how. I guess we don't have to. We don't have to ask the question of how we get blue milk anymore either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a terrible fucking scene. I'm sorry.
It was so no. It was so cringy that it was good though. It's like
no, that's what I was
because
about to say.
he's got this beard going and he's like
I was expecting
like
him
the
to-
drunken sailor with shit in his beard. He's like,
I was expecting him to say, "And what?" What the fuck are you looking
It's
at?
like
You've never seen a guy.
more milk for me.
Oh, man.
That scene was horrible and great at the same time.
Yeah.
It was good night, Dad. Badong, this is Badong.
But see, I think Nate, touches on a very interesting topic itself too, is because when we go back to the original Star Wars, assuming that's what we started watching as, or even the prequels, like what's one of the most underlying themes that makes Star Wars? The Force. So you take that element out, what do we have now? And that should be interesting if that's what Rian Johnson chooses to do, because then I'm not gonna say it's a generic sci-fi story. I'm not saying that at all, but we will explore what Star Wars is without the fundamental elements, what made it Star Wars for us.
Users in there. They just don't have. You won't have the orders anymore. You won't have the Sith Order or Jedi.
Well,
Order.
it might be those stupid cameos like fucking
You also,
R2 and
so we won't have
C-3PO.
like. There's gonna be this big old cloud over like. We're not gonna know if there's gonna be a balance anymore. It's just gonna be a story given to us.
Well, because I think he was also talking about going like back in the past, not like old Republic days, but in the same universe itself. So that's what I'm saying is that like they might comment on it. You might see it as a passing cameo thing, like fan service. Like, oh, there goes a Jedi. You see the little lightsaber.
Yeah, there goes actually a 3K.
If they do that, I
Oh, look at Lizzie's
swear.
face.
But that's what
Your
I'm saying.
face too? Y'all
Yeah, a
don't
little.
no more?
But that's what I'm saying is like, how will it be? And I'm sure we will all still watch it. We'll still all enjoy it, but we won't. It's like we're watching Star Wars that isn't Star Wars anymore.
I'm curious what the girls think of that.
Yeah.
But how do y'all feel about no Force users? Maybe not even any lightsabers.
Well, to explain to her real quick, she stepped out. The question that Nate put up about Rian Johnson, like it's coming out now that it sounds like his trilogy is not going to have Sith or Jedi in it.
It better be good.
I think it'll be.
They better
incredibly boring.
compensate. It won't be boring.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
It
y'all
might be
gave
fine.
Rogue One.
Star Trek's very
Really?
exciting.
I mean,
about
I
Force.
loved Rogue One,
But it had that underlying
but you
thing,
still know
too.
the context.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
They don't-
I'm just
It
curious.
could be
It's
like
more like a
the Han
rebel
Solo movie.
thing. I guess.
Rogue One
Because
was
I'm-
great without that.
See, I like that real gritty, like because I know they're always talking about military, like Rogue One was like the foot soldiers POV kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you still very much had elements of the Force in the background. Like, hell, when they're doing a flyover of Jeddah, like you see like that huge statue is supposed to be like a Jedi Knight and it's fallen over. Like you may not see like Force users, but they're there.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying is it going to be very much similar to that? How do you make a Star Wars film without the fundamental elements that make Star Wars Star Wars?
Well, with that said, with the last movie, I like what Luke was saying, that he establishes it and recognizes the Jedi Order as a religion. And that's how you keep it in touch into something that doesn't have to do with something with the Force.
Yeah.
Because religion has a heavy hand in our politics and the way we do business, the way we do things. So if you establish Star Wars, the Force or the Jedi Order as a religion, it'll always be there. Well, it'll be subtext, always underhanded,
Yeah.
So that's how you can keep the Force or Star Wars into it.
In The Force Awakens, that's who Lor Santeca, who's played by Max von Sydow. He's there with Sydow. He's there with the Church of the Force or something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's what I brought up a few times. That's what I'm saying is like short of those like small little elements that you find in the movie. But initial fans like became fans because like, whoa, this light sword, like they're talking about, you could do telekinesis and shit because tapping into something, and that's what I'm saying, like it'll be there as like an abstract background kind of thing, like a picture on a wall, but that's not going to be the main focus or premise anymore.
That's where I want to get away from. Yeah, that's why I was telling you guys about that Star Wars series, Underground. If it would have been done, I would have loved to see it. I would have loved to see a daily life in a a Rogue Squadron pilot. What does he do during the day? Is he out there training? Does he have a wife or kids? I want to see that. I want to see a larger expansion. Yeah. We're all adults here.
Except for me. Kid for life.
Yeah, I'm a man child as well. So I'm just saying I would like to see more adult orientated kind of things, a day in the life of
whoever.
Fill in the blank. Yeah, pretty much. Yes,
Luke Skywalker.
Wrong answer.
Blake Skywalker.
So,
does he know a Jedi Knight? Then he can't be in the movie.
I'm going to ask you this question with Tim having read the Han Solo little bio on that action figure there.
Okay.
You said that you're not really excited about the Han Solo movie.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Having Lando Calrissian and I'm sorry, blanking on his name. Don Glover. Sorry,
Glover.
Him as Lando. They couldn't pick the better person for that role. But I'm not hearing good things, dude. I'm worried about the directors being changed and what Ron Howard did. Just like, poop. It's this belongs in the toilet, And then hearing, the acting lessons and stuff, and they're bringing in multiple acting coaches to help them out and stuff. She's like, oh no.
But and I know we've briefly covered this before, but especially when that news came out, when Ron Howard took over, that came out was like he needs acting lessons. But that was also what the premise was. The two previous directors as well is because they're giving it more of an Ace Ventura feel at the time, and that's why. Yeah, and that was confirmed, and that's why
Ace Ventura feel.
And that's why Kathleen Kennedy pretty much iced him.
She said that's accidents. These guys.
And I think I don't. That's my point that I'm trying to make across here. Han Solo is not fucking Ace Ventura.
No.
That's gonna be my next. I'm gonna submit Ace Ventura for you guys.
Wow. Okay. But me personally,
but you have to watch Ace Ventura thinking Jim Carrey is actually Harrison Ford. No, but see, that's the problem. We didn't know that until it had already happened. So when we heard the acting lessons, that actually came out. So with that respect, did he need acting lessons because of that. That he needed acting lessons because he was supposed to be made in Ace Ventura. And finally, when Ron Howard came in, he said, no, screw all that noise. We're doing a Han Solo movie the way I want to do it, who is a fanboy and knows that I'm not going to say any real fan, but I think a general consensus among the fans are that Han Solo is very much not Ace Ventura.
Exactly. No, I can understand where the comedic aspect of Han Solo comes in. He is funny, but above so, he's charming.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's so charming.
She got giggly.
Like, did you turn on the heater?
Mrs. Leia got giggly.
I'm just gonna say one word: moist.
Nate, I hope you're watching, Nate. Moist. Tim, your turn. Tim.
Like fingernail.
Lois.
Yeah, same.
But with that said, Han Solo is so charming. Don't get me wrong. I as a kid and still as an adult, I can still watch Ace Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what that said,
But those are two separate
There,
entities.
Yeah.
It's the thoughts. Yeah.
Han Solo is funny though. Like, that's why we have the gifts where he's just like,
Yeah.
No, of course.
and he's so cool at the same time. His line was supposed to say, "I love you too," but he just straight up says,
Yeah.
"I love you. I know."
Yeah.
Yeah. It just that's so cool. I wish I was that awesome.
Oh, he's so cool.
One of the most Han Solo-esque things that Han Solo could say himself.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I
may
love
die
you.
here.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to possibly die, but yeah, that's nice. Thank you for your service of affection for me.
Scruffy looking nerf herder.
Who's scruffy looking?
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
So with that said, I'm even worried more now, But it could be like you said, the directors weren't directing him accordingly, or the script. I don't know. I'm not really.
I mean, how long ago was that transition, though? We're talking about in the summer, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of time has passed, and it doesn't ever seem like, at least now, the way they have everything's orchestrated, because there is a lot of like CGI into movies now, it doesn't seem like the actual acting portion, like the actual shooting, takes as long anymore. So you give Ron Howard that time, he manipulates the script the way he needs to. He takes out all the goofy shit that's not Han Solo. He reshoots it. I mean, even for Rogue One, like you said, you like Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
It had a hell of a lot of reshoots.
Oh yeah, because it was
4 weeks worth when it's traditionally
so
not even that.
It was so dark, and it was too dark. It didn't make it much in the box office because there were certain like mother groups and whatnot. They took their kids to go watch Rogue One, and then they were just like, after that movie, the mothers are like, "Oh, that was so dark. Oh my god, that was so bad." What were you?
Well, it's kind of like, okay, so when I grew up, or when I was growing up, my mom let me watch Selena. I didn't know she was dead. And when I was seeing Selena, I like busted out crying. She died? Why? So, I mean, I can understand that, but it's also like, okay, there was Old Yeller before that. There was Selena, there, Titanic. Everybody dies.
Yeah.
So,
Grow up.
No.
Get
Take your
less
5
sensitive.
minutes. We all died, kid.
Terminator 2. Terminator 2, damn it. Last thing you see is him giving the thumbs up, like,
But no,
oh,
that's so
shit.
Not everybody dies. Well, later everybody dies.
Dun-dun.
No, but that's one.
But I think there's also a stigma of oversensitivity.
Especially today, but I think that was also the same time frame where like there's this huge internet campaign like, since when the hell is there wars in Star Wars? It's in the name, duh. Like, did you not hear about that?
No, I did not hear about
There's like
that.
so much shit posting on, like, how can this much shit go on or whatever? It's like, it's in the name. Like, what else do you want?
And that's what I'm saying. Like
Space pansies?
and that's what I'm saying in the early episode
It's
is
fun.
No, I said space pansies. I said it's a space flower
Oh.
that you're gonna smuggle.
Well, yeah,
Josh, huh?
I'll brush. I brought you these roses from I don't know what planet to name right now.
Pansy.
Yeah.
Planet Pansy.
It's a planet Pansy. But I'm just saying,
It's mother approved.
so there's some aspects of Star Wars that we just need to finally grow up. I think Rogue One could have easily been rated R, because I mean, if they would have showed maybe like a little bit more blood, a lot. There's some of those
Couple
explosions.
F-bombs.
Yeah.
Arms could have gone.
Yeah, you seen a couple of stormtroopers like fly up in the air. It would have been cool to see a couple of stormtroopers missing a limb or something like that.
All this should be R, but the fact is, it's kind of like what you're saying with the merchandising too. You get so much more money if you dial it down to its PG-13. That's why when I was so happy that out of the original and the prequels, the first and the last film that was for those movies, the first one that was PG-13 was the sixth one that they done, which was Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. Like, I was excited because they're like, PG-13. They're finally going to make a PG-13 out of a war movie? Like, that was the first time they finally said, all right, let's kick it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you kind of had to with the story itself, but that's why I was so happy, even more so, because Episode 7.
Okay.
And they're in the show.
Do it. Where the little kid, Master Skywalker.
Oh,
good.
Master Skywalker.
What are we going to do? Oh, God.
You're going to die, little piggies. That's why.
I mean, if they're upset about Rogue One, why are people upset about that?
Right?
I mean, come on.
I mean,
It's a little
But it's
kid.
the time, though. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, during this time, we've become hypersensitive about any little thing. That's why right now.
Are you calling me sensitive?
No.
I'm offended.
I'm offended that you're calling me sensitive. That's why I asked, like, how do you feel about profanity on your show? Because you guys weren't. Yeah, you guys weren't
We
using
actually
it enough.
sprinkle some other words within the profanity itself. You know.
Okay. So some sentence enhancers.
Anybody who's watching right now, you want the profanity tonight? Kiss my ass.
Okay. But that back then,
Your show has been shut down.
What happened back then? I mean, is not prevalent to what's going on right now. Right now, we live in a very you got to be careful what you say and how you say it kind of thing going on right now. So with that said, that's probably why those mothers freaked out. I'm like, what are you freaking about? When the very first Star Wars, Vader fucking busted in and just stepping over people like it was whatever.
Right.
Clean the shit
on the
up.
ground.
Yeah, just clean the shit up. Right?
You almost made me trip, bro.
It almost seemed like the rebels that were on the ground, and
some of the stormtroopers too.
Yeah, it was.
Pathetic.
Yeah, exactly. It almost felt like how they were throwing the roses in. What is it? Coming to America. With James Earl Jones.
I could just see three hot chicks just sprinkling dead bodies around while Vader is walking by.
Vader can't walk in. There has to be a minimum of 12 bodies.
Yes.
Or what? Rebels? No, it can be our own if we need the numbers. I need 12 dead
Power
bodies.
-1. Pow!
Wow.
Now I can go.
You miscounted. Boom, whack. Oh, look at that. We have 11 and 2 halves.
Oh my god. Well, this is all good stuff. Tim, from what you read about Han Solo on that action figure, from what you read in there, do you think if they do what you just read, how do you feel about a Han Solo movie then?
I feel pretty good. I feel comfortable if they went with that story.
So, what did you read in
They
there?
would have to.
Because that action figure right there that you're looking at is over 20 years old.
Holy shit! I don't even want to touch it.
I'm over 20 years old.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
sorry.
probably over.
Yeah.
It
Starts with him being in the Imperial Navy, and then
Wait, I want to read it. Can I read it?
having the
Will
Wookiees
Will you let me read it?
as pretty much as slaves, and then him seeing Chewbacca being how badly he was being treated made him kind of he wanted to do something about it, so he helped him, or he took him from that, and they didn't like what he did, so they kind of just I don't know what the word for it. I read it in there as a word for it.
What?
Exiled him.
Yeah, there you go.
Court
That's what I was looking for. So, and he took Chewie with him, and he started smuggling.
Right off the bat.
So those are that perfectly describes a lot of ex-military people. No, I'm kidding. Right? So that sounds exciting. If they do just a movie off that cardboard,
Right? Just take that. Let us see that.
let me see that.
Yeah.
But I know they're not going to do that. I know
That's
it's
pretty
totally,
awesome.
I know it sounds like a.
You sure you want to touch it? This is
Amen.
as old as you.
It's almost like a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like Luke Skywalker with the
No,
blade. Like,
Yeah, wait.
Come on.
She's got sweaty hands.
is that different from any other time?
You want to check it out?
I'll check it out.
Is there two?
Yeah. That was what I did.
Here.
So I can see now why you brought those two out.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
scary looking. Just
Mhm.
stop. I don't know.
See,
He's not sexy.
He's not cute.
What have we here?
Yeah.
oh wow, wow, he looks like Prince.
A
A little bit.
Eyes.
Yeah,
He looks like Prince.
he looks like Prince.
Okay.
Yeah, look.
Cool.
Little
I
bit.
like Prince.
You know, I was going to
He doesn't look like
buy,
Mike Dave Chappelle Prince.
right next to the Star
Houses.
Wars toys.
Okay.
I bought these
Thank you.
at the old KB store. You
Yeah.
remember when there was a KB store?
I remember you telling me that's how you have that huge Jabba the Hutt,
Yeah.
because it was just a display.
Uh-huh.
And hey, I'll give you whatever amount of money. I forgot
Mhm.
how much you told me. And he's like, sure, man, take it.
Yeah.
Did you say like $20 or something?
Yeah, it's $20. As a matter of fact, this because he did look like Prince so much. Right next to him, they did have little red Corvettes toys,
Wow.
and I almost bought it. But I passed.
No.
No. Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
I'm
Aw.
gonna take a quick snapshot
Yeah.
so I can share this later or something. But this is cool, man. I wish I had a huge collection.
You think we need to get in the rankings of that?
Huh?
Rankings?
Yeah.
We have
We're getting
22
closer.
minutes.
All right.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm not looking
You
forward
wanna
to Han
show that
Solo.
to the camera real quick?
Camera, Lando.
Lando.
Camera.
Raspberry beret.
But
Excuse me?
Raspberry.
Excuse me?
Barrete.
Beret.
The collector's
Open it.
But I think those
Shut your
were
mouth.
Open it.
from
I'm gonna open it!
95, 96, somewhere around there.
The year?
Oh,
Damn.
I'm older.
Uh-huh.
It's older than
Well,
I don't know if I can
depends.
get the glare.
You get that glare off. the
Shut your
board.
mouth.
Get that glare.
It has to be a side profile.
But
Yeah, really.
Let's
uh,
cover up those holes.
but with that said, yeah, I'm not. After today, I'm probably gonna dive more into it and see what's up with the Han Solo stuff.
Mhm.
You guys kind of did hype it up for me a little bit more now,
Mhm.
just because I almost forgot that Donald Glover was gonna be.
Boba Fett?
Is Boba Fett gonna be?
Yes.
You know what's more hype on top of that?
Huh?
Is that they just announced that they plan on or they're gonna have more pulling more from Legends.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So I feel like, and they said that they're saying this just before the Han Solo trailer. I wonder if like we're gonna get that in the
Because
for this movie.
there'll be something in the minutes anyway. Then
Mhm.
I mean, we're gonna get Khaleesi. I mean, what's her? I wonder what character she's gonna play.
I don't know. Well, there's a deleted scene from Star Wars: A New Hope where Han Solo is with a female, and I wonder if maybe that's her.
She was a cargo. She was the spice.
Ah, mucho
Just
caliente.
mucho spicy.
Is he talking about
Mucho.
Spice from Dune?
Are they interconnected worlds?
What I believe, maybe could be. That's a very good question.
Possibly.
Ryan Johnson comes out. God damn it!
Well,
Yes and no.
let's say we got about 20 minutes left for our show.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have you rank the Star Wars movies.
As far as my favorites,
Well, I'm gonna have.
wait, okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Sarah.
No, not me.
Tim
Okay.
is going to explain
He missed it
how
last
we,
time.
how we do the rankings, right? And then he's going to guide you through which movie to start with, all the way to the last one.
Oh,
All right,
all right.
okay. So we're gonna be ranking these movies in order from episode 1 to where we're at now, and we give them scores from rating from 0 to 100. If you wanted to give it a 0, if you want to give the prequel a 0, you get ready to fight Micah.
no. I need to go get my gloves out of my car.
It will be, and we have. I mean, if you want to see up here, is it going to be coming up here? Yeah,
Okay.
and he'll show the average numbers for everybody as well. It's going to be there.
Ooh, okay.
And one element to
As well as our
respect
numbers.
when you're ranking the movies is we're ranking episode 1 versus any of the other Star Wars films. Not against Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, anything like that. We're breaking. We're grading Star Wars against Star Wars.
Specifically, La La Land. You don't want
Oh,
to
God.
against La La Land.
We're gonna keep on bringing it up because it's there. Okay?
I know.
That's fantastic film.
And you can't compare it to Knock Knock either.
Yeah.
I like La La Land.
It was good.
It's
I need to
good.
rewatch it. So.
Yeah.
I never
Hey,
watched it.
That's besides
Thank
the
you.
point.
I didn't.
And
I don't
Adam's
think
oh,
we-
they're so cute.
As soon as they start singing, I'm like, guess we're fast forward.
But all right, all right.
Yeah.
What's
So we
what's
start
going on?
off with episode 1, Phantom Menace, to give us your rating on that.
And who is Phantom Menace?
Exactly.
So.
All right.
Oh.
Maybe Snoke's face is all fucked up because he had those things that
Ears?
were Jar Jars. Yeah.
Oh.
No, kidding. Let's go.
Anyway,
Don't listen to me.
Phantom Menace. As a child, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Let's go with that one.
And then I liked it a lot. But as an adult, and I rewatched it past the age of maybe 25, I did have a session with myself and just look at and well, not those kind of sessions, but
Oh, shit.
turning Japanese or holy
We're talking about making dark movies here.
But I rewatched all of them. Man, what the fuck? I mean, seriously, I was like, so they're pretty much this starts off as a political move and gain. They're boycotting something. They got a what's it called,
Blockade.
a blockade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are they blockading? Why are they doing this? And it never really answers that question of the blockade and whatnot. I was like, okay, so the Jedi have some sort of influence in that. Why? There's a lot of questions that I just don't feel that they really answer. And they just, boom. And Jar Jar Binks, I remember as a kid, I'd laughed at it because when I was a whole lot younger, I was just like, ha,
This crazy little ass.
and I'm like, oh no, this is not politically correct at all. The way that he's acting. But it's not horrible. It is entertaining for the fact. I mean, I did like the part of the pod racers. I did like it, man. When I had surround sound, I still kind of got giddy as an adult, and I was like, "Yup, I got these bows for a reason." 100.
Yeah.
Sound
I
effects
turned
that they do, man.
The sound effects are great.
Yeah.
Oh shit, And I love having that quality that they usually do with their sound effects. And the visual is great. Darth Maul was like, it was something new. And still, as an adult and a child, Darth Maul still captured, that. Yeah. It still captured me.
And then we see the hypocrisy of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You son of every time.
Yeah. But with that said,
I had the high ground. The
I'll-
bitch was
I'll-
hanging in the hole.
I'll give you the I'd have to say like a 65.
Death comes for you.
A 65. Oh shit.
What was Izzy's score again?
Izzy.
I think that's the real.
Below the consensus
You just passed it. Oh, never mind. I thought. Never mind.
How do you
I thought it said episode
I was
1.
like,
but
how do you know?
he just knows it. 45. Well done, kid.
Nah.
Well done.
Nah.
So
no.
our guest average was
Is that
70, and then
No, she
the
said it
council, we
was
call
that
ourselves the
bad.
council.
Yeah.
Even on a
was
20-point
pretty
curve,
much a
that thing's
70
still not
as
passing.
well.
Yeah. No. I can understand. I can see where you come from, Izzy. I really can, because I was about to say 50, but I remember the quality of entertainment. I still get like when I see Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon go at it with Darth Maul.
Yeah, that's the one they did.
And the pod racing scene, you know, stuff like that really still, yay, because
Yeah.
it's new. It was something new.
Mhm.
Instead of just saying shh, you saw them fucking flip and do high jumps and, you know, samurai, you know, faster samurai coordination of the lightsabers. That's why I'm giving it a 65. But I could totally agree with you. It's below that, you know, I can. But anyway, second one, Clone Wars.
Well, yeah, Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. I'm sorry.
Control it, Tim.
Attack of the Clones. I'm gonna have to give that one.
This movie's no shows.
Did you say this movie's no joke? Yeah, man.
No, just no joke. This movie.
I'm gonna have to give this one like a bit of a lower score.
That's the general consensus of the films. I even give it a low score, so don't look at me like that.
I have to give it.
Princess.
I'd have to give it a 50.
I didn't say that lower of a score.
No, well,
I'm playing.
You know, don't get me wrong. I do like Jango Fett. I do like his introduction and whatnot. But
Dun 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 dun. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I do like it, but still, as a kid, I loved it. But I was a little bit older from Phantom Menace to this one, so my thought process and I guess I'm not saying I'm becoming more intelligent as I get older, but I'm questioning more, and I still questioned it as an adult. Okay, so are you got to be fucking kidding me? The Jedi Council had no record of this whatsoever because of what's his face erased it off the databanks in the library. So you're telling me
that damn word. That's what the D stands for. You son of a bitch.
Data. You know, you're kidding me. A whole freaking clone army was kept secret from the Jedi.
Wasn't the Outer Rim?
That's a good answer, though. But I mean,
like, who goes out there? Like, they're looking for like
let me just cruise
drugs
out
and hookers or something. You're looking for drugs and hookers. You're gonna go that far. Other than that, you don't need to worry about it.
I could just picture like freaking drug dealers like just floating in a spacesuit. What's up, man? What you need? You know.
I need a couple of clone troopers.
Yeah, some StarCraft.
Shit, I got some of that on
some spaceship comes out of hyperspeed and a hooker walk, you know, floats up to it. What you looking for? You want a party, daddy? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah.
I mean, after this, I'm gonna have to go home and watch the prequel just to cleanse myself of these comments.
But I'm still left with too many questions. It's like, okay, this clone is big. This huge clone army is being made. This is happening, and then at the end of the movie, how convenient that an actual war started. Yeah, you know what? That was on our dime that we didn't fucking know about. We got to use them. So that's why it's a 50 for me. Sure, don't get me wrong. Christopher Lee as a Sith Lord is fucking amazing. Why? Because I remember Christopher Lee as a younger kid playing Dracula, and he does do a lot of the hand motions correctly and does give that stare very well, because him playing Dracula, he was always like, come to me, just stuff like that. So
we even talked about the Lord with the hands too, like about the lightning shit.
Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, Christopher Lee really did save the movie for me as a child and as an adult.
What about Yoda?
You know what? Seeing Yoda fight for the first time, I'm sorry, thank you for bringing that up. I overlooked that. Was kind of
55. I'm playing.
I can understand why he'd have to be acrobatic and stuff like that, but still, though, he didn't release his full potential on my part. Like seeing what's his name, Darth Tartanis or whatever, Count Dooku. There we go. Seeing Count Dooku like throwing objects at Yoda, and Yoda's like barely keeping up. I'm like, dude. Like, you just lifted, an X-wing with ease, and the other movie that I saw. Yeah. What the hell, I feel like they underplayed him a bit.
I have bad comments about Yoda, period, though. So.
Oh, okay. So anyway, next one,
Revenge of the Sith.
I'm gonna have to give that one a 75. Why? Because of the ending, and a lot of people. I like controversy. I really do. I love it. A lot of people were pissed off about the whole killing of the younglings and shit like that and whatnot. I'm like, that's cool, man. If he's gonna commit, he did it 110 effing %.
It was necessary,
and it was necessary, And the reveal of Emperor Palpatine at the time, because he became the Emperor, and I was just like, oh my god, oh my god. And there was so much political tension at the time too. I forgot who was running for president. It was like George Bush.
I think it was. Yeah.
And people were like, and that's where memes started to like grow up in the internet. They're like, oh, this is what's gonna happen if George Bush is.
Yeah, he was going for a second term.
Yeah, he was going for a second term. This is what's gonna happen. And I'm like, no, it's not. Chill out. But there are memorable scenes. It was pretty shocking to see that. Like, oh, is this how democracy dies? In a roar of applause.
Yeah,
I love that quote.
Yeah,
and I was just like, shit, that's pretty deep. And then of course, all that happens. The fight scenes were great. You do see Yoda like really like go at it with the Empire and the Emperor, and that was cool. I like that a lot, and they showed more of Yoda's power, I guess. But I still think that he played it down a bit. And but the youngling part was kind of cool because I was just like, oh,
I remember when I saw it.
Really, dude?
I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh fuck, they're gonna do it.
Yeah. Even Robot Chicken.
This isn't rated R.
When Robot Chicken made fun of it, like, oh, just go to your happy place. He's just cutting up like
Back
flowers.
on the planes and the
yeah. I was just like, whoa. And that's why I like it. And the last fight scene was just epically just awesome. Just really cool. And that's all I gotta say about that. Which one's next?
Rogue One is next.
Rogue One?
Very good, Tim. High five that shit, man.
If Rogue One's next,
Okay, that's my put that down.
I'm gonna have to give Rogue One a 90. I mean, I really love it. The only downside about it is, now that I'm reflecting on it, like you said, Tim, it kind of did drag un poquito in the middle. In my opinion, it did. It didn't. But you know what? In the middle part, after they got off the planet that they half blew up or whatever, they destroyed that mining planet. It kind of did slow down a little bit, and then they go to that other base. That picks it back up again, and then it loses a little bit of momentum there. But it was necessary. It was setting the tone. Because they're like, well,
they wanted that Vader shot.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed that information. They needed the fucking plans to the Death Star, and that little slow part built up the tension that, hey, we're gonna die probably. This is legit suicide mission, and it was.
We're going to go until our chances are exhausted.
Yeah, if there's like a 1% chance. We're going to have to take that 1%.
Yeah.
Until we're all dead.
Did you know that Vader scene was part of the reshoots?
No, I did not know. That scene by far. Yeah. So it just showed how much badassery
Oh, yeah.
he is. But it also shows how flawed he is. Someone's like, why couldn't he just force,
pull the ship?
Yeah, just do a freaking Spider-Man with his force and just bring the plans over to him. Instead of just chopping up fools left and right, just I was like, then man, it wouldn't have been entertaining.
Yeah,
that too. I think he doesn't have a lot of lightsaber times,
No.
Since the end of episode 3, we're talking about nearly 30 years later. It's not every often let me just take this thing out and practice with it.
Yeah,
You know, so he was probably like in the moment, like, I'm having fun killing these motherfuckers.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And you know, Michael brings it up too, and a lot of people don't think about it. You know, because I didn't when he brought it up. You know, Anakin / Vader, all he's known through his whole life is this big old war, and maybe he's kind of, whether it's PTSD or shell shock or whatever. You know, I mean,
I never.
he's going back to that.
I'm not. I'm so sorry for snickering at that. You know, making a. But I had to laugh because Lewis does bring up a point. You know?
Well, that was Micah's.
Micah, you do bring up a good point. You know, that's all he's known. He was a fucking slave, and then he goes to the Jedi Council on. Oh, guess what? You're growing up. You're being taught this badass way. Hey, you're going to war, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome! You're going to be a starfighter. You're going to fight on the ground. You're going to fight in space. You're going to fight wherever. Did I really leave slavery to become a warrior?
Mm-hmm.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Well, he became a slave by another means because they put him on the council and he's not even a master.
Exactly.
So what choice is his own?
That shit, dude. I remember I remember being pissed too when he's like,
we wasn't ready.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Let's not get onto that one down, man.
No, but we've all been in
They
that.
know I get passionate and they just say shit to try to fire me.
No, but we've all been there. We've all been to the point where there's, hey, this position's open, a management position. I'm just throwing it out there. But we're also, you know, we're not going to point out, you know, where we work at, but we're all gone to the point where, hey, this management position's open. And then it just sucks that hey, you know what? We didn't chose you for it, but we're still going to give you responsibilities to do at that same level of management. Oh, so you mean I'm going to continue to, you know, manage the schedule, make the schedule, keep eyes on these numbers and whatnot, and I'm not going to get that title
or even pay.
It sucks. So I remember rewatching it. I was like, I know where you're coming from now, because you're stuck at the assistant management position, and then the actual manager. You know, you don't want that AS in front of your M. You just want manager. You don't get it, but you're still doing all the same shit. That's where, as an adult, I was like, I can appreciate you being pissed on that aspect. But anyway, Rogue One, I say 90. The 10%, just because it's a little draggy some parts. Just a little bit, now that you're saying the 10.
All right, next one's A New Hope.
A New Hope. For that one, man, I would have to say 100. 100. Why? Because as I can still watch it, man. I can still watch it as a child. I can reflect as it as a kid. I can reflect as it as an adult. My dad has the 3 VCH trilogy tape with the extra VHS of, like, you know, behind the scenes and shit like that and whatnot. I still have it too somewhere. I mean, I can watch it if it's on the TBS or some like public. Basic cable access. I'll put it on. It's on, and I can just, you know, I'm not gonna watch it, but I'll leave it on, turn it up, and I'll be working in the kitchen or, you know, doing something else, and just have it as, you know, background noise. I like it a lot, and I like what it is. It's just some kid. We've all been there. This is another one where we have all been there. We're just tired of what we're doing. Like, man, I don't want to fucking be a farmer. You know, I don't want to be farming what?
Moisture farmer.
Yeah, I don't want to be a moisture farmer.
Moist.
Look at this. Power converters are moist. This tower is moist.
Oh, Red has a bad motivator. Me too, bro. Me too.
I feel like Barney from How I Met Your Mother now. Just squirt people.
Did you like that episode of How I Met Your Mother, Sarah?
No, she just skipped it.
I was like, good.
She's like,
put it on mute.
Yeah, mute it. I can see him saying,
Okay, it's
shit.
over.
Yeah. Who put on closed caption? I'd say 100. I'd say 100. So the next one is
Empire Strikes Back.
another 100.
Woo!
I mean, all the originals I can enjoy. I mean, 100 just because, oh shit. As a kid, I even sensed the fucking dread, you know, like when they first were attacking Hoth and whatnot. And I was just like, dude, these people are actually dying and stuff. They're like, they are seriously outgunned and outnumbered. You know, they had the AT-ATs, you know, and then they're just walking, and then you see them doing their best, and they are taking them out, you know, here and there, but overall they still lost.
Mm-hmm.
The shield generators were knocked down. That rebel base was taken over. Yet again, you know, Darth Vader, it just shows the power of the Empire. Just
Military.
Yeah, just huge. And then, you know, him going to Cloud City and whatnot, him fighting his, you know, finding out that was his fucking dad.
No.
He's like, I your father. Sorry?
No.
I think I tricked her. You're my dad? Where's my child support, bitch?
Yeah. Squeezy, you know.
You just cut my goddamn hand.
Yeah, exactly.
You're controlling the galaxy, and you left me to do moisture farming.
Damn it! You owe my mom the whole back pay. You know, just her.
Back then,
She's
it's
dead.
like,
Yeah. She's dead, kid. I don't want her jack shit. But yeah, just, you know, all those sudden surprises as a child was just really inflect on me. And then as an adult watching it, you know, when I was 25 plus, I was like, shit, dude, Lando's character, you know, you were pissed as a kid about it, but he was absolutely right, you know.
Yeah.
He was like, what do you want me to do, dude? What the fuck?
this video's getting worse all the time.
You know, he's just like, what do you want me to do? You know, I'm not a military, you know, government or a planet. This is just a mining facility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want me to tell the biggest control in the, you know, in the galaxy, like, go fuck yourself. No, no, I'm gonna play ball.
Mm-hmm.
I got to, for the better of me and my people.
Who has 2 thumbs and betrayed his best friend?
This guy. Yeah. So another 100 for me.
Sweet.
What's next?
Oh,
Revenge of the Jedi.
Revenge of the original.
No, that was. Yeah. We know that was the original title, but Revenge is something
Revenge
a
is
Jedi.
not the Jedi way.
Exactly. So
Pansies.
on this one,
70.
no, I'll give it a 95.
Point.
Point
Yeah.
Oh, I
zero?
can do decimals.
Yeah.
You can. Look right
There's
here.
a .72 on there from.
Revenge of the Sith there gave a 99.72 to the 105.
Which one?
Revenge.
I'm sorry. I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll meet you halfway. 96.7. Why not a full perfect score like the other two?
Oh, there's plenty.
I mean,
Izzy to try to backgammon me.
It's pretty close.
I mean, how can I say it? I don't know. It was just a little. It was just a little cheesy. Just,
Yeah.
you know.
I thought it was cheesy too.
Yeah. It was when I was a
Wait,
kid.
what did you give it?
A 60.
No, you did not.
Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
You gave it a 60.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Is he there?
You gave
Holy
it a
shit.
60? What's your problem? No, but I understand.
What if you gave it
Well, no,
10?
that's crazy
What if you
because you're
gave it
giving
10?
98, 99, hundreds and shit.
25.
I
You're giving away
Yeah.
plus A's for like just like candy and all
What
this. I
if-
think of 60s on the original trilogy. Respect that.
Oh, I was like, back
You're-
off.
Never mind.
You're-
I won't
These are our
even.
previous
I won't
ones.
even make my quote about this movie.
But
Yeah, don't do it.
You're gonna do it anyway.
wow. But just because it was just a little cheesy, and this is where I guess the big push by the producers, by Hollywood.
Well, when you said big push, I thought we were going to talk about
Into
Vader
the
and how he,
toilet.
Star Killer.
yeah, he passes gas.
Hey, how did you?
Oh my god.
Hey, how did you feel about when they're in the net?
Oh God!
on
stop!
Yeah.
Oh my
stop.
God.
I'm not
I
saying
already
anything.
said you were gonna
I'm
do the
asking
one
his
for now.
opinion. I didn't say what
You
I was
brought
gonna
it
say.
up. You
Big-
still brought it up.
I know.
So she
Yeah,
gets
that's
to
why
hit
it
you.
was. That's why I'm saying it's cheesy because it's stuff like that. But yes,
Can you think of the line when they get caught?
I wasn't
in
gonna
that,
say the line.
You
I
brought
just
it up.
I
You
wanted his
brought it up.
opinion. That's a
When
credible
Luke
question.
trying to get his lightsaber in from inside the net. What's the line?
I don't remember.
You don't
Please
remember?
tell me.
Huh?
No.
Try
What
it.
is it, Micah?
I know.
What is the
Oh
line?
my god.
I just feel like it's unappealing for me to say it correctly, so I can't.
It's been a year and a half since I've
It's
seen
been-
that movie.
Why don't we
But what
just
is the
look
line?
at it?
Please enlighten me.
Yeah, see?
No, you do.
Let's just assume I said my incorrect piece,
What is it?
and you're gonna correct me. So go.
No, I want you to say it first.
Say it.
I said I was not gonna say it. I
Do
can't.
it.
I
Do
don't
it.
want to say it.
Fine. Can you
Do
reach
it.
my lightsaber?
Do it.
Basically, what he says is, "Hey Han, can you grab my lightsaber?" And that's not correct. What does he say?
Oh shoot.
Oh, that's why.
No, I can't remember now.
No.
But he was like,
Can
he
you
didn't-
Throw.
He's just like,
Hand
"Hey
me my
Han, can you
lightsaber?"
grab my lightsaber or something?"
do you think you can reach my lightsaber? Because
Yeah.
Han was like facing him, and his lightsaber was behind him. And
This badass fucking Jedi Master. Hey, bro, can you grab
Maybe
it?
he
Why
wanted
would
like a
he-
moment,
why would he-
and maybe Han would like grab his
Wait, what?
butt. Nothing.
Did you just talk about rubbing his
I'm
ass?
talking about butt touches.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
That's episode 6.3, and
Yeah.
hopefully we don't get to that.
But they're in a net, so if he tries to use the force, he's probably gonna like knock someone's eye off or something.
Or like, or if he
come
like
again?
accidentally activates it, you know, everybody has like a little hole. That's
Is
not.
that how you activate a lightsaber?
There's this.
Come, my lady, come, my lady.
You know, they're on Endor, and it seems pretty
Leafy?
vast
Oh.
Did you
forest,
say reefy?
right?
Leafy.
Oh, like
There are all these
reefy?
characters in a net.
Reefer.
I wonder if when Han did get the
What the-
lightsaber, if it was moist.
Humid, I think is what you're
Humid,
looking for there.
humid is the word I was.
I didn't
searching
realize
for.
you're going to that word.
I think that's how you get it moist.
Ah, the-
No!
activation of the lightsaber.
I thought Sarah was like actually like walking
She's like,
out.
peace, I'm out.
All right, next movie.
What comes next?
Forces of Destiny.
Force
Force Awakens.
That piece of shit.
Watch it.
The
No.
Force Awakens. I'm gonna give that one an 80.
80?
80, just because I do agree that it was just a carbon copy of A New Hope and whatnot. I do see the the tropes of it, and
Tropelet.
and it is just too identical. The pace, the pacing of the movie, what happens and whatnot. Finn is Luke. He's like, man, I don't want to fucking be a stormtrooper. It's the same thing. Same thing. Luke and Finn, they don't want to be something that's all they've known. Finn gets tired of it. Luke gets tired of it. Poe's, I guess, kind of the
The other side of Luke.
the other side. Not Han Solo-ish, and kind of,
Space Cowboy.
he is space. I guess, yeah.
Wanna be a
Cowboy
space
Bebop, yeah.
cowboy?
Poe is more like the Han Solo and the appeal of, hey man, come with me and I can show you all this other badass stuff. Instead of you being in white armor.
Mhm.
And of course, like I said, it's just too much of the same. But did I like it? Yes, because I like Star Wars. I like seeing the X-wing coming in and flying over the lake and shit and saving the day for a little bit and whatnot. So, but other than that, yes, I can understand, why I can't give. Hopefully, you guys can understand why I can't give it 100 or a higher grade. But me just giving it what I just gave it, I think it's reasonable.
Mhm.
Tim, do you think it's reasonable?
It's gotten lower scores from some of our other guests.
Wow.
They're not invited back. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they haven't.
What are the lower scores?
Get out of here.
Where is it on?
87.
After everything. 87, 95, 85, 75, 70, 70, 85. 100.
Wait, where are you
You
reading?
gave it.
Did you give it 100?
Yeah,
I can see why.
I like it.
May I
Ray.
ask your age, Izzy?
My age?
Yeah.
You may not.
Just so I can gauge, I'm 32. And sadly to say, I kind of dated myself. Like I said, I watched the prequels as a teenager. I'm not saying I was a kid, but still I'm a kid. But as an adult, I rewatched it. I'm just like, I can understand why people are having so much like, hey, fuck those prequels. Hey man, a little bit. but not
Not a full
entirely.
out fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Not a
The
full
little heart that I
full
have.
to me. Oh. But
My black heart is becoming darker, man.
All right, last one.
yeah, last one.
The Last Jedi.
That one.
The last movie or the last Jedi?
The last, both.
The Last Jedi. I'm gonna give this a high, not a high score, because like I was telling you guys earlier,
I saw her.
The
Though. She's
Finn-
like,
the Finn and Rose bit, that whole stuff, man, just okay. Oh, we gotta free the animals too. I'm like,
We shut down the circus.
yeah. They're just gonna capture him again. You didn't see them you just saw them escape. I'm like, they're gonna round them up in like an hour.
but do you think part of that might have been like an example?
That's all merchandising.
No. What I mean is, like we look at the prequels and we say Jar Jar was.
Are you gonna create Rose to Jar Jar?
No. Actually, in a sense, but not like that. Hold on, not like that. Jar Jar was actually very essential for the prequels because he's the one who gave the Chancellor his powers.
Oh, exactly. He was the one to make that vote for emergency power.
Exactly. And so with this respect, we see the little kid at the very end, the broom kid. We see him
Broom Jedi.
Yeah. But when we see him have powers, and I think that's one of the the one of the lingering things, kind of like this is where we're going with it. How do you explain that kid being there had they not gone to the stables and released those creatures? So maybe that scene was in there to be organic as far as the story and the plot, but to bring it back to this, because maybe they always had this idea of leaving like, you can be the next hero.
And that's what I think ultimately you are correct, but it could have been shortened. It could have been tighter, condensed.
Tighter?
I can't technically tell you.
Kind of like.
No, I'm making a joke from Knock
Toy,
Knock.
like a toy gun.
It's like, I can't tell you to lose weight,
Oh, no, yeah.
If you could just get that tight, and don't get me wrong, I do like the romantic aspect of it. I do. But I think Finn got knocked, he got knocked down. Rose did knock him off the pedestal, and because in the beginning of that movie, you see Finn not very gung-ho about the cause. At the end, he was more than willing to sacrifice himself for the cause, and Rose no, that's not what it's about. It's about you fighting to live.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she knocked him out of the up front of that space, barricade kind of big old.
Is that why you're saying she's essential? Because the overarching.
Oh, I mean, not so much as her, but I mean, like that stable to show that. But also, I think she's essential in the respect is because if you look at episode 7, they're kind of like Rey and Finn, and they detracted that with adding Rose, so you could have Raypo. Because as soon as Rey and Poe lock eyes, are like, oh, so you're this big badass fucking starfighter, right, Tim?
I'm thankful.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Same thing.
I'm thankful that they're not related because that would have been totally creepy. It'd be like the Brady Bunch.
Wait, who's not related?
Ray
And Poe?
No, not Poe.
Kylo.
No, I'm sorry.
Kylo.
Kylo.
Oh, I'm not even talking about. No.
Ben Solo.
They're brother and sister. Okay.
No, they're not. But
Not blood, but the
Not
brother
blood.
and sister are reincarnated.
yeah, something like that. But yes, I'm gonna have.
Not
Did I
reincarnated.
give him a score? Did
Not
I?
yet.
Not
Oh.
yet.
Tim.
90. I'm keeping it easy. I'm not doing decimal points or anything like that. I'm gonna give it a 90 because yes, I was very thoroughly entertained, and I was the only asshole that stood up and clapped. I was like, no, what the hell's wrong with you guys? You know, okay, yeah, the whole Finn and Rose
I
thing.
think I would have done the same, but it just felt awkward. Like nobody else is
It was weird, right? I mean, it was weird.
I think
But we
someone
also
clapped.
saw it really late too. I didn't
Yeah.
No,
see it.
I
until,
think
like,
no.
a few
There
days
was like a
after.
small group,
Yeah.
but people
But
clapped.
I mean,
on our
most
show.
of it, like I went to the Indiana
Yeah.
Jones.
But
Crystal
you wouldn't
Skull,
exactly
people
suspect
clapped.
that from because we didn't see the opening night.
Oh, yeah,
Like
sure.
I mean, episode 7 when it came out, like people
Indiana
were like,
Jones,
up in arms,
yeah,
like,
Crystal Skull, I was
yeah,
just
like, best goddamn thing I've ever
What?
seen.
That doesn't
Like they
belong
were
in a
huge
museum.
about it.
Yeah. When did this become science fiction? Even though most of it was kind of like
Wait.
Yeah.
mythology and lore.
We have
I
to
can
That's kind of
respect
cool.
that. Yeah, because like the
Indiana
first
Jones?
one, the Ark of the Covenant, the
Yeah,
Temple of
it
Doom,
was
you
all
saw like
history.
yeah,
and it
history
kind of had
and
minds that.
well, yeah.
Why are
Then
you
that
hating on
happened.
Indy right now?
They were talking
I
about
could see
clapping
that.
at the end of movies.
I'm saying people clapped for Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull at the premiere. And I don't think it's
Well, yeah.
Did you watch it here?
here. When?
In Corpus.
No,
Oh, okay.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
For me, it was like a day. Okay, just calm
Oh,
down.
you're not from Corpus?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, yeah, 90. The minus 10% is all that Rosen film. Not all of it, but the planet stuff and whatnot. It gave me a little bit of.
The movie was
Again,
almost perfect. Fucking Rose.
No, no, bro. I'm not blaming it on
I'm
Rose.
kidding.
I'm just saying that side story is just.
Could have been tighter.
That's
It could have
Oh
been.
my god.
How do y'all feel about Kylo? Was he pretty tight?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, god damn you. I think you're part of the story that the girls are like,
Did any of you guys
well,
do did any of you guys do the
Kylo challenge?
Yeah.
Tim
No.
should
What
have
is
done.
that?
Everyone was hiking up their
People
pants.
were-
John Mayer did it.
Oh,
Just
Oh,
hiking up their pants like over their belly button.
Tim did the one where it was a combination of that and that sea creature that he's just like leaking milk.
Oh, no. Well, Jose, with your rankings, you have now put Return of the Jedi jumping over Rogue One
Bullshit.
for our guests.
I'm sorry, but
Oh, I didn't say nothing.
So for the guests, we got Empire, Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, A New Hope, Force Awakens, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones.
I'm not taking any of my answers back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should be proud of those.
I am.
Well, we're about 18 minutes over.
Oh, chingao.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry.
okay. But
It's all good.
just want to thank everybody for watching, and
Thank you.
head on over to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. To
Izzy Don't
YouTube
Panic,
or
yeah.
Izzy Don't
You,
Panic.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube.
Check
Tell
out my
everybody
channel.
about your YouTube channel.
I make cringy videos.
Cringeworthy.
Cringeworthy, but it's cool. It's cool. You check
What
it
is-
out.
Like
you
when you
like
eat
it.
chips, cringe, or
Like up the nose, like talking the whole time. Like, oh, oops.
What?
the
Like
Blair Witch
when you
Project
open
movie.
the front camera and it's like down here and you're like,
Oh,
You don't know
Like
your
Blair Witch.
Oh,
Holding
okay. Oh,
And they're like, Izzy, you're overreacting. What? Oh.
Izzy, you're panicking.
That's your YouTube channel.
Mhm. Izzy Don't Panic.
Yeah.
Izzy Don't Panic.
Yes.
I'll check it out.
I have like
Yeah.
vinyl, like I talk about my vinyl collection. I made like one vlog and I play Magic. I played Magic.
Yeah,
You played Magic once.
Just for the video. No, I play Magic.
On the she
but-
plays Magic, but she had one video.
Yeah.
for it.
I remember when I played Magic.
Mhm.
Golly, that was in high school. I graduated in 03.
It's still around.
Oh, 3?
Yeah.
Oh, so 6.
I won't say when I graduated.
There was a 9 in there.
Oh man! And Jose, you want to tell everybody again? Show them
yeah.
your card.
Dun,
Show
dun,
the
dun,
card
dun,
again real
dun.
quick. Look at that. That's
Super
an awesome,
Film Bros.
little postcard that I passed out.
1985 Rotendo.
Yeah, well, two
Oh, I
two
think
main of the cast members were born in '85. I was born in '85. So.
Nice.
Wade was born in '85. So I appreciate it. Thank you again, Lewis.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
I appreciate it. Check us out, please, at Super Film Bros.
The weekly movie podcast where anything goes.
That's right.
Exactly, Tim.
anything
goes.
go.
We do buzzworthy news with the Weekly Hornet, trailer talk. That's my segment. Movie reviews, bonus episodes that you guys can request. Please go to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Podbean, iTunes. We're even on SoundCloud now. So check us out on all those there. Listen to us. We are established. We got quite a bit of back issues that we like to call. We have like 25, 26 plus, maybe even more so.
Very entertaining.
So it is good. Lewis was listening to one of our awesome episodes. It was our New Year's episode, Judge Dredd versus Dredd. Check it out. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, that was really good. Really good.
Dread.
Yeah, for sure.
I am the law.
God. Very, very funny, interesting facts on that episode. I'll give you one of those. Versace was the one that designed Judge Dredd, the Sylvester Stallone's costume.
Oh, wow.
So that's why
Jesus Christ.
So
It actually kind of makes sense now. Looking
that's
at
why.
that.
That's why he looked sharp as fuck. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Very nice.
Dredd.
Well, Jose, thanks for coming again. And, we'll throw your name out there.
Thanks.
Throw Super Film Bros.
Yeah,
out
we'll
there
throw
for
your
you.
name out there too, and
Thank you.
please make a request.
Yeah,
on
I'm
a
going to.
movie or something.
Episode 1. Watch it again.
You don't have to.
Stereo.
You don't.
Yeah.
If it's a request and he likes us on Facebook, I seen. If you like me today, if you like Super Film Bros on Facebook today, and you make that request, I'll do it.
No, I'm going to do it for sure. No, I fucking I'm going to do it for sure.
Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And thank you again.
As you all should.
And let's help each other local podcasts. This is the only the other local podcast that I know about.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can
I
find
haven't heard
more.
much around here.
Yeah. So hopefully, we can both grow together here in
Absolutely.
corporate
Definitely.
and take over.
Yes.
Corpus Christi. Yeah, take over 361.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my neck. I've seen somebody with 512.
Oh no!
No, I've seen somebody with 512.
512.
That's not
That's
an
the old one, right?
That's the old area.
Yeah,
He
the old one.
X'd it out and put 361 a little lower. And I was just like, yeah.
Just cut it off.
But you know what?
Okay.
512 is Austin area now. I'd
Yeah.
still rep both.
Yeah,
Because I
I
love
like
going
that.
to Austin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have
Still
the
Texas.
Stripes cups.
I just don't
Stripes
think
rubber
I've ever been that passionate, I guess, about my community to rep my phone area.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not
Because they
that
can change
connected, you know?
But let's go ahead and wrap it up for the council.
The choke force.
Oh God.
Someone told me that one.
No.
Force choke.
They're like, what's your podcast called? The
Yeah,
choke
like-
force? I'm like, we're the worst, maybe.
But you gotta make sure your partner's okay with it.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you gotta ask permission.
Exactly.
Can you sign this this release form? or have your friend, in the closet with a baseball bat. I'm kidding.
He's coming out now.
I'm thoroughly uncomfortable.
No.
Oklahoma.
Well, then we've accomplished it.
I'm sorry.
Hi, I am.
Wait.
I am Micah.
I'm Tim.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Lewis, and we are the council. This is
Jose D.
the council has spoken.
Moist.
No.
Show me again the power of the darkness, and I will let nothing stand in our way. Show me, grandfather, and I will finish